still say Mahomes. I would go Herbert, and then I would go Nick.
How old is Mahomes?
I would say Mahomes is 30 years old.
I mean, he can play to 35 easy.
Yeah.
I mean, he is
I'm guessing he's 30.
He's at the peak of his game right now. I mean, dude's complete behind-the-back passes. I know it was a preseason
So you
game.
guys would take Mahomes too, right?
I would, yes, absolutely.
I would take Mahomes. You know the story behind that, right? Kelsey ran the wrong route, and Mahomes was so pissed at him for running the wrong route, he threw that pass behind his back.
And hit him right on the money.
And hit him on the money, and he caught it.
God, I hope that happens in the regular season and somebody picks it, takes it to the house.
Well, apparently he
kicks
does
Mahomes on the way to the end zone.
According to Andy Reid, he does it in practice all the time.
Yeah.
And Andy Reid's been trying to get him to do it in a game. And
Is that how bored they are?
Yes.
designed a couple of plays to do it in the game, and he refuses to do it in the game.
Mahomes is only 28.
28. He'll be 29 next month, according to everybody.
No, Mahomes, your answer.
He needs to pull a Barry Sanders.
In the NFC East, this gets interesting.
Boy, this is really
it's Jaden Daniels.
It's
easy.
Jaden Daniels, yeah.
It's easy.
The guy's not even made a regular season.
He killed it again this
I
weekend.
think the Commanders might win the East this year.
Wow.
Now, they've got some holes, but I just think he is that type of a difference maker.
You go back, you remind me when we're 7 minutes late getting to Furman this week.
Okay.
To go back the way he treated me on Twitter on Saturday, because he asked, what's the best bet in the NFL this year? And I said over 6.5 Commanders. And he pushed away from the table. That was the GIF.
Yeah.
He was like, no.
Furman doesn't like you.
Pushed away from it. He gave the old pushed away. But over 6.5 for the Commanders this year, that's easy
Well,
money.
I think it's really an unpredictable, division, but I love the Austin Eckler get. I think Eckler's still got something to prove, and I think Jaden Daniels is going to be great. So I would go Jaden Daniels.
I would go Jaden Daniels.
Everybody this time last year would have gone Jalen Hurts, though, right?
They
Probably so. Yeah.
They would have.
And nobody goes Dak.
We are about to get to the most difficult division to answer.
Let's save NFC North for last.
Okay, because it is the most difficult one.
Let's jump to the NFC South, because I think it is very interesting, because Michael Penix is that guy that's waiting in the wings, but how good is Bryce Young going to be? Dave Canales thinks he's going to be really good. Didn't even play him this past weekend.
I think this is the one where the guy hasn't been drafted yet.
I would go Michael Penix Jr.
Yeah, of the ones that are there, I think I'll go Penix.
Yeah.
But you could be right that, maybe Tampa drafts a guy or New Orleans drafts a guy that is that guy in 5 years.
Yeah.
Jalen Milroe with the Saints. No, I'm kidding.
NFC West, I don't think the guy is there. I think Brock Purdy is going to struggle this year.
We were Lance Dunaway and I were talking about it before the show. We were watching the highlights when he was in the Saints game last night.
Yep.
He was awful.
And
he was
terrible.
missing 3 starting offensive linemen.
He was.
His
Deebo
top 3
Samuel wasn't
receivers.
playing.
Let me ask you,
running backs.
Yeah.
You're missing 3 starting offensive linemen. So why the hell is your QB1 out there?
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really don't know.
In an exhibition
Because
game.
Joshua Dobbs is the next guy up.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
I mean, there's no way he goes out there.
I agree with you.
If I'm missing one offensive lineman.
You guys give me Kyler Murray's not going to be the guy.
I don't think it'll be the guy.
Seattle with Geno Smith, that's kind of an unknown. Nope. Matt Stafford's not going to be around. Garoppolo's not going to be around. And watching Stetson Bennett, if you really only kept 2 quarterbacks right now and Garoppolo wasn't suspended for the first 2 games, I think Stetson Bennett would get cut just because of the highs and lows right now.
Threw 4 interceptions in one preseason
He
game.
turned it over 2 times in the win on Saturday.
I can't control the football.
So I would say yet to be drafted. And then the most difficult, the NFC North.
Yeah, which shows you how good the North is, because in the South, I think the yet to be drafted. The West is yet to be drafted, so that's half the conference.
You never know what we're up to here at the next round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow the next round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunceford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in.
When on YouTube, you constantly hear requests to please like and subscribe. Well, here at Disrupt Media, we aren't going to play that game. Those demands are frankly outdated. So we just want you to hit like or subscribe. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. Pick a path, hit like, or hit subscribe. It's your call. We don't care which, just pick one. Or go to Roll Tide Pods and do it. Or War Damn Pods. Or the Disrupt Media YouTube channel. Or the Meltdown. Just make a decision and stick with it. Like or subscribe, the choice is yours.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Live show now at 9 a.m. Central Time from Birmingham, Alabama. We're the next round. Next 3 hours, we've got Tom Luginbill in the very next segment. So sit back, we'll talk some college football. We'll start with what I think is one of the newer positions in college athletics. The college football general manager, and already as we head towards a salary cap era of college football in the near future, there is a demand for the Courtney Morgans of the world, who I guess is technically the first general manager in Alabama football history to have sort of that role. There have been people that managed the football program before, but he came with Kalen DeBoer from Washington in that role as general manager, and he was wanted so much by USC, and teams like Florida are searching for a general manager, that he gets a pay raise yesterday. I think it'll be confirmed today by the trustees, but according to reports, from $500,000 a year to $825,000 a year. And if you follow Alabama's recruiting and holding the roster together and Kalen DeBoer's right-hand man, it's worth it.
Yeah, I think Courtney Morgan is like, okay, this is what the SEC is all about. Like, I haven't been involved in a game, and I've already gotten, I've already almost doubled up my salary here. The first time I had ever heard the term general manager in relation to college athletics was Courtney Morgan. Like, I hadn't heard of this before, and when people start to say, this is outlandish that somebody's making this kind of money.
Wait.
You remember when Scott Cochran got that big bump as a strength and conditioning coach. Everybody was like, it's worth it. To me, this general manager position is just as important. And now with NIL, you've got to have a guy that can operate this thing like a business. Money well earned from Courtney Morgan.
Just wait until college football programs have to start hiring the guy that manages the salary cap, which will be in the next few years. That's going to feel really, really weird.
Yeah, some people are saying that. I know Florida is looking for a salary cap guy, and I can't remember which school has hired a former NFL front office guy.
Yeah, I can't remember the school it was, and everybody
was Ohio State, but it was a big name program.
It was a big school, and I remember everybody saying, like, they're smart to do this. He may not have a ton of work on his plate now, but he will in a few years, and you're smart to get a good one now and have him in-house for when it's time.
And I bet, I'm just going out and saying, much like a lot of general managers in baseball, they're going to bring in numbers guys, Ivy League guys, to be those guys that manage salary caps.
Yeah. And just like in the NFL, quarterbacks will sort of be slotted for this, running backs, wide receivers, offensive linemen, linebackers.
Yeah,
right?
That's probably a $300,000, $400,000 job. I mean, imagine if that was your job, just balancing the salary cap of a major college football program.
But this shows you the value Kalen DeBoer puts on this position and how much he trusts Courtney Morgan in that position, that all it took was USC wanting to hire him, and he got a $325,000 raise.
Yeah.
I went to Jacksonville State, so I'm not quick on percentages. But when I'm making $500,000 and I get a $325,000 raise, I'm closing in on doubling my salary.
Yeah.
I mean, what is that, 65, 70% raise?
Yeah, I mean, you're getting an extra close to $30,000 a month, which might not even move the needle if he's living in L.A., but he looks at this and he's like, I'm making $825,000 in Tuscaloosa.
He's wealthy in Tuscaloosa.
Where he doesn't have to pay for anything either.
No, sir. And so, I mean, it shows you, though, just money aside, the value, obviously, Kalen DeBoer places on having a guy you can trust in this position. And Luginbill will be with us early. I'm interested, as Luginbill bounces around, what he sees the general manager really doing, or the guy that may not have the general manager title but is doing the same thing Courtney Morgan's doing.
Wouldn't you think Courtney Morgan is in that boat now where, like, if you're an internal audit with the university and you see his credit card where you see charges you just don't even ask? I'm sure he's got a budget, but as long as it's in the neighborhood of the budget, I don't think they're really pressing back. Like, okay, man, you went to Dick's and you spent $278. Yeah. What is this for?
Yeah, that's where somebody goes into Greg Burns' office and says, hey, here's Courtney's credit card statement. And Greg takes one glance at it and goes, take that back.
Yeah,
we're good.
Yeah. We're good.
Yep.
Tell him he can spend more money if he needs to.
Right.
But, I've never had the conversation with Courtney. I've heard he's a fascinating guy.
I heard he was a little shy.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
I shook his hand.
And that's
what
I meant, kind of intriguing, mysterious.
Yeah.
It was the National Signing Day. I did something for Yay, Alabama, shook his hand, introduced myself. Then he was right back into his phone, multiple phone guy, as you would imagine.
Yeah, double phone.
He's got texts going both hands to recruits. And I've DM'd him a couple of times. He has a, I guess it's okay to say, he's posted pictures before. He has a passion for cigars.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say he had a burner phone.
Yeah, I didn't know where you were going with that.
And
Did he have a burner phone?
And I joked with him. I said, I've had one cigar in my recent life currently.
I guess he threw up.
And no, it was here. Remember, it was the day after. Remember, I left here. Kalen DeBoer has signed. I went and bought it at the local smoke shop here and went home and smoked it. And remember, we shot a video.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
I laid down for a while because I got a little dizzy.
Yeah.
And he basically told me I wasn't smoking high. I need to move up quality of my cigar.
Yeah, you went cheap, is what Courtney told you. I bet he'll get
Well,
the
it wasn't
best.
cheap to me.
Yeah.
So you got dizzy when you smoked it.
I did. Yeah.
Did Maggie step over you?
She was
When
out
you laid on the floor.
I think she was out on girls' night.
over you.
I think she was at Duke when it was going on. But Courtney Morgan gets a raise there over in the mybookie.ag chat room. Jeff checks in. He says that Will Redmond is crucial for Hugh Freeze, down running that for Auburn right now. Everybody's got their guy they need in that position. Not always has it been called a general manager. There are people that have been, director of player ops or, whatever you want to do it there. Here's me smoking the cigar right after the Kalen DeBoer announcement. Because remember, I left here. I was living up here.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Until Alabama found a head coach, you were living in the studio. I'd forgotten that part.
So inhaling is the mistake there.
Yeah.
Is the mistake.
Yeah, you just puff a cigar, Jim.
Yeah.
You do not inhale. Go Bill Clinton. You don't inhale.
Yeah. So so congratulations to Courtney. Hopefully he smoked him if he had him last night on the new deal there. Alabama could be getting a commitment today. Akillan Deer, the 4-star running back from over in Quitman, Mississippi, is a one-time Ole Miss commitment. He's going to choose today between Alabama, Ole Miss, and Mississippi State. And we'll find out where he makes the commitment. I don't have a time on that. If anybody in our mybookie.ag chat room knows when Akillan Deer is making his commitment today.
You want me to text our Cover Crimson guys? Did you check on them? We literally have a website that covers Alabama.
I did not check with them yet today. I was trying to involve our
sure they
audience,
could
but if you want
probably-
to involve the Cover Crimson guys,
I
go
would
ahead.
think those guys could break in live if it's during the show, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Continuous coverage always at covercrimson.com. Auburn did get another visit, a return visit from Deuce Knight, the one-time Notre Dame commitment, the quarterback, a 4-star guy. He's going to come back to Auburn. He's already been there once, and a lot of Auburn people believe he'll end up as a quarterback for Hugh Freeze's class coming up. Much more college football to get to in this opening segment, including Hugh Freeze making an announcement last night, right after I tell you about our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. You're about to see popping up on your screen the Meltdown guys. They were with you every day at 2 o'clock. I was trying to take advantage of these guys maybe being a little delirious from weight loss last night in poker. At one time I was the chip leader, and then they started slapping me around, and I was early out at Lunceford's house last evening. There's Lunceford going through his free consultation with Leslie and her board-certified team. There's Tim Melton there getting some paperwork and blood pressure work done. It is board-certified medical professionals that take care of you, help you jumpstart your weight loss. And for me, maintaining weight loss but controlling some massive numbers in my life, cholesterol numbers and blood pressure numbers that literally keep me alive. So whatever you're looking for when it comes to your health, Way to Wellness can help you out. They have a variety of different ways to help you lose weight, diet, or something like that. Any way you want to do it, they've got it for you. No contracts, no sign-up fees, and that first consultation is free. The website, again, planforme.com. Planforme.com. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Rockstar, if you'll give me cut number 8. Cut number 8, Hugh Freeze last night. Tiger Talk is back. He's sitting down last night doing a little Tiger Talk, getting ready for the season. Andy Burcham to the left, Brad Law, part of our thebarnauburn.com family over there, the Village Vice co-host, up there on the stage with Hugh Freeze. And Hugh Freeze gets asked about QB2. Who's going to be backing up Peyton Thorne? Here's how it went down last night.
Ready to announce who that backup quarterback is at this point.
Yeah, I told him today, man, I think we're blessed to Walker's going to be really talented too, but the other two I think can both play, but Hank's going to be the backup primarily. He's just when you grade all the reps, and man, he's been really, really good throwing the football in camp. He's thrown some really good balls and strong arm, and and again, that's not a knock on Holden. Wouldn't be afraid to put him in either, but I think you've got to settle in and get somebody prepared, and Hank's going to get the nod.
Okay, so Hank Brown gets the nod there. He is QB2, Holden Geriner, getting some rave compliments there from the coach as well. But Peyton Thorne's the guy. Now here comes Hank Brown.
Yeah.
I don't know a ton about it.
Yeah, I mean, 9 attempts last year. You look at him; he looks like he's 15 years old. I mean, he's got a little Ed Sheeran in him.
Oh, he does. He really does.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously, in Hugh, you kind of trust when it comes to quarterbacks. I don't know. Is this an upset? I don't think it is.
I mean,
going back to Holden Geriner maybe a year and a half ago, you would have thought he'd be in this situation by now.
Yeah, I thought the interesting thing was that Walker White obviously is fourth. I think a lot of people wanted Walker White to come in and compete for the backup. I don't know that is a universal thought among Auburn fans. There's still a lot of Auburn fans I talked to had seen the quarterbacks, and they're like, we'd like Walker White to be really, really good, right?
Yeah.
And he appeared, obviously he's fourth. It came down to Geriner and Hank Brown, and Hank wins the job. I'm with Lance. It feels like a little bit of an upset. I probably would have picked Geriner here before the fall camp started.
Troy says you looked really good in the bowl game.
Yep.
Troy also points out it was Trent Dilfer's high school quarterback.
I was about
up
to
in the
mention that.
Nashville
Yeah,
area.
Trent Dilfer coached him. Yeah, Lipscomb Academy is where he played. So he played for Trent Dilfer his whole career because he's a redshirt. So he was going when Trent Dilfer left. So that's a good school, and Trent knows quarterbacks and can develop quarterbacks. So I think that speaks very highly of Hank Brown.
All right, so there's the quarterback news in our state down at Auburn with the backup situation. It's Milroe and Ty Simpson in that order, we assume, over in Tuscaloosa as we close in on week 1. We're 4 days away from week 0 coming up. All the great stuff we do during college football season returns next week with our spotlights daily, our upset alerts, and such like that. So we'll get to that coming up next week. Tom Luginbill in the next segment. Some other news came out. USC, no surprise here. They named Miller Moss the starting quarterback yesterday. Jaden Miava, the guy who at one time was going to go to Georgia from UNLV, but ended up going to USC instead. He is the backup. A little competition in camp, but no surprise it's Miller Moss.
Yeah, I think Lincoln Riley did him a solid, did Miller Moss a solid. First of all, he's got a lot of confidence in Miller Moss, but to not bring in another portal quarterback, knowing Miava is a guy that's got experience at UNLV would be a good solid too, but more than likely Miller Moss was going to win that job. Yeah, I'm fascinated to watch USC. And, who do you guys think the better quarterback's going to be in that game? I mean, even if you believe LSU's 14 points better, do you think Garrett Nussmeier or Miller Moss? Who's the quarterback you'd rather have for the year?
I generally go with Lincoln Riley quarterbacks in these types of questions.
LSU's had some good ones
But
lately.
LSU has had some good ones. You're right. I'm not 100% sold on Nussmeier. I feel like y'all are more sold on Nussmeier than I am.
Both of them have looked really good in bowl games, right? I mean, Nussmeier has, in the moments he has come in, he has looked good.
Miller Moss, if you would have played Caleb Williams, it couldn't have gone any better. And I'm not saying that that's going to equate and it's going to translate to what we're going to see in the regular season week in and week out. But he was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I would just, in that game, since you're asking that game, I'm going to default to the Lincoln Riley quarterback. I mean, when has he had bad quarterback play, right?
Now, Nussmeier does have a few more reps.
Yeah.
I think Miller Moss has got 21 career.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to go landmine, you should go Nussmeier here because I have USC in the playoffs.
That is true. That is a great point that people are pointing out in the MyBookie.ag chat room. I'd forgotten the association with the landmine. You got them in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, and the landmine may be queued up for a historic season. I'll just go ahead and tell you because last night I was leading in poker, and Emily Grace, who was at Taylor Swift yesterday in London, she had been sending me Taylor Swift content all day long because I'm a huge fan.
Of course you have.
And I was basically sitting in her chair at Poker Club last night, and I was chip leader. So I snapped one picture, sent it to her, and said, I'm representing you tonight. I'm going to win this thing. 4 straight hands, and I was out the door.
Wow.
Now, did you hover or did you go
landmine.
home?
Huh?
Did you hover or go home?
Oh, I go straight home.
Does everybody go home right when they get bounced?
Lunceford, give me Lunceford's mic. Does everybody? I say when I lose, I go home. So I don't know if anybody else hangs around. When I lose quickly. Do anybody hover and watch the end of poker?
Unfortunately, I have to.
Well,
it's at my house.
It is at his house.
That's
Yeah.
true. Lunceford's got a draft.
Hey, what's the latest you'll let them go, though?
I mean, we've gone to like 1:30 before.
Yeah. How late was it
deep
last
Monday
night?
It is about midnight last night.
That's
Midnight?
tough.
Because they had rebuys last night until 10:30. That's a late rebuy night. I only went in. I plan on doing one rebuy. Don't tell Maggie, but I did 2 last night. I got on what?
Don't tell Maggie I use my money.
I got on what they like to say, tilt. All of a sudden, and
You got your ass tilted out of there.
It's okay. Most people use Venmo, so it tracks it, but you use cash. So
That's right.
there's no trail.
Jimmy D on the cash, huh?
the old yeah.
Do you lick your finger and count it out?
Yeah. I would tell you that the worst landmine of all was this last night. I had for about $40,000 worth of chip. We're not playing for the kind of money, but that's how many chips I had with a guy, and all I needed was a 5 to complete a straight. And I said, "Come on, 5." And it was the last card, whatever that last card is called, is the last card. And boom, it's a 5. Just happened to be 5 of clubs, which gave him the flush and beat me. What are the chances?
So you needed a 5, and the only thing that could beat you is...
And he needed a club.
Oh, my
And it
gosh.
was like,
That's amazing.
That's crazy, dude.
and that's the one I got out the door. And Damien, who was dealing, was like, "You got to ask for a specific 5. Don't ask for the 5
5
of
diamonds,
clubs."
baby. 5 of diamonds.
If Dunaway was a bird, he would appear the day Randy Johnson's pitching.
Yeah.
My freedom, guys.
I've learned how to fly.
I'm in Florida.
Yeah. All right. Inverness Country Club. And then one more thing in the opening segment before we get to Luginbill here. Tell us about Inverness.
The best days happen at Inverness. Whatever your interests are, you can find it at Inverness. Talk about they've got memberships to fit everyone. They've actually got a vineyard club at Inverness Country Club. Social club, including the resort-style pool complex, full-service cabana, bar, live music on Friday night, Sunday brunch, golf membership, beautiful course, currently expanding the driving range, child care, also a big plus. Dinner with friends, knowing your kid is safe on site is a huge plus. Maybe you work from home. What about working from the club while they watch your kid? Do you know you actually don't have to be a member in order to hold an event at Inverness? Inverness can hold anywhere from golf tournaments to corporate meetings to wedding receptions, anything in between. To take a tour of this incredible club, whether you're looking for a potential membership or you're throwing an event, call Erin, tell her the next round sent you. 205-991-8608. That's 205-991-8608 or online iccalabama.com.
Okay. Another quarterback was named yesterday. Jaden Daniels is the starting quarterback for the Washington Commanders. We expect Bo Nix to be named as early as today, the starter for the Denver Broncos. We talked about that yesterday. But Jaden Daniels is the starting quarterback for Washington. The Commanders have an amazing streak. He becomes the 8th straight year to have a different starter on week 1
Boy, that's a crappy streak.
for Washington.
Well,
I'm gonna read quarterbacks, and you
Okay.
tell me, was this a week 1 starter for Washington or not?
All right.
Dwayne Haskins.
Yes.
Yes. Carson Wentz.
No.
yes.
Yes, he was. Sean Mannion.
No.
No,
Former
he
Rams
was,
backup quarterback.
he was not. Kirk Cousins.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Sam Howell.
Yes.
Trevor Siemian.
I
No.
don't think so.
No.
Philadelphia, right? He played for the Eagles.
I think he did. Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
Boy, he has started for almost the entire NFL, so I'm going to say yes.
Yes. Alex Smith.
On
many
an opening
years?
day, yeah.
How many years are we going back?
8 straight years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Case Keenum.
Yes.
Yes.
Colt McCoy.
Yes.
Yes.
No, he never started in week 1.
I remember him starting,
Yeah.
but not in week 1.
He did start.
That's pretty
Tyrod
incredible.
Taylor was the third one I was throwing in there as a blank one.
Well,
He was the
I will say
Ravens.
this. As long as he doesn't get hurt, he'll be a starting quarterback for the next decade.
Yeah, that's right. They'll break this streak because he looks the part.
Yeah, he looks the part. I think they finally have their quarterback. Again, I think if you're an LSU fan, then I always wondered from afar, how does he play the way he plays and doesn't get injured? And, we'll see. I mean, that's kind of the dynamic. Like, you want Jaden Daniels to do Jaden Daniels' thing. You don't want to actually keep him from running
No,
the
you
football.
don't.
I mean, that's really the danger with that guy.
Hey, listen. Let me give the qualifier before I even say or ask what I'm about to ask. It's 2 preseason games. I get it. You don't have to tell me it's 2 preseason games.
That's right.
I get that it's 2 preseason games, and it's going to change when the season starts.
But if you're 7 of 8 or 5 of 6, that's pretty darn good.
So with that qualifier, I'll include it in the question too. Through 2 preseason games, does he look a little bit like a more accurate Lamar Jackson to you? Just with the ability to run, his ability to run.
Yeah.
And I think he's a more accurate Lamar Jackson.
I mean, I think he's got Lamar's speed.
Yeah, he's got Lamar Jackson. He's definitely got his speed. And he's every bit as elusive as Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
Lamar's
Lamar's
bigger than him.
If Jaden Daniels continues to get better and better, boy, he's gonna be scary.
Yeah, he is, and he's to the point right now. You think they could win that division with him?
I do.
Chase, Skins fan here, great. Daniel, I'm likely wrong, but I'm not sold on Jaden Daniels there. We'll see as it pans out. You probably going with the odds if you say your rookie quarterback's not going to work out.
Daniel goes on to say as a prospect, he was more like, he was not Lamar, he was more like Justin Fields. Again, 2 preseason games. He's infinitely better than Fields right now. That's just 2 preseason games. So.
Tom Luginbill talks college football with us coming up. We'll also hear from more Auburn and Alabama camps as we get closer and closer to the start of the season. We've got a ton of stuff to get to you today. Jam-packed show. So sit back. Let's have a little fun today right here on the next round. Don't forget promo code ROBAC, robac.com, promo code TNR20. Forrest, you want to show it to them now?
That's a good-looking shirt. I saw this.
That. They've got some Stadium Series coming out, and there is a Jordan Hare shirt at Robac right now. Save 20% with the promo code TNR20 for you Auburn fans out there. The pattern is actually Jordan Hare Stadium.
If you're an Auburn fan, I don't know how you don't have that for the early regular season games.
It's really cool.
That is a sharp shirt right there.
Yeah, I have not seen one for Bryant-Denny Stadium and or Saban Field yet. But we'll see if Robac gets that going. Crave activity with our friends at Robac. Robac.com. Save 20% with code TNR20 right now.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
You could win a Cadillac CT5 or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can be a winner too. Come win your share during the Cadillac CT5 and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings April 5th and 6th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the Bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Buying that perfect home is one of the most important financial decisions you'll ever make, so it's crucial that you have the right partner to help you through the process. Hi, I'm Lisa Zeig, Vice President Mortgage Loan Officer for Bryant Bank, and I'm here to tell you that we are that partner, making it easy to buy with confidence. We offer a variety of mortgage products to fit your unique home buying situation. That kind of hassle-free approach might not be what you'd expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give me a call today or visit one of our 18 offices across the state of Alabama and let me show you what banking beyond expectation is all about.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Tom Luginbill standing by, and at the end of Luginbill, or before, whenever Brown wants to do it, we got an announcement about Luginbill this year. But I want to remind everybody with my big announcement that the Pants Store is your game day headquarters again for all of the Next Round listeners, whether it's the original location in Leeds, all the locations in Birmingham, up in Huntsville, Tuscaloosa, Auburn. You get your Bama and Auburn polos, your hats, your quarter zips from great name brands like Horn Legend, Cutter and Buck, Antigua, Gentile, and a lot more. And for the ladies, they've got you covered too. They got the game day dresses, the rompers, the footwear, those Western boots that are so popular right now, the New Balances, the Hokas, and you get free alteration and free gift wrapping as well. Nothing says Roll Tide and War Eagle like the Pants Store, pantsstore.com.
All right, ESPN's Tom Luginbill is with us now. He joins us, ESPN and the ACC Network's Tom Luginbill. You'll see him on the primetime ACC Network game this year. He joins us now on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. What is up, Lugs? How are you?
I'm good, guys. Good morning to you.
Good to see you. So it'll be Luginbill, Wes Durham, and our girl Taylor Tannenbaum. That is a great crew right there. Great crew.
So you're in the booth.
Actually, real quickly, that's a change. So Taylor Tannenbaum's moving to host the huddle throughout the week, and Dana Boyle is going to be our sideline reporter for the primetime crew. So
my apologies.
Little correction there.
Yeah, good job, Ryan.
That's all right.
Yeah, excellent start to the interview.
Am I right about this?
I couldn't leave Dana out, though.
I know.
I think she's going to be a future superstar.
Tell Dana my apologies. Yeah. Tell Dana my apologies.
Am I right, though? Taylor also will be anchoring that the game day show that's on site? Yeah.
Okay. So she'll do that throughout the week. Friday nights, I'll join on Friday nights. Primetime game, I may join during the mornings each and every Saturday. So, getting ready to get cranked up. I've got NC State next Thursday and Georgia Tech Saturday, so a doubleheader the opening week.
But don't be stunned if you show up for makeup or rehearsal and she's got a Next Round hat or T-shirt on. She's a big fan of the show too. So,
well, there we go. Hey, I know she worked in Huntsville.
That's right.
I worked in Huntsville, so. Taylor and I have gotten to know each other pretty well.
So, Luke, can we start with the guy that never played in the ACC, Steve McNair? New documentary dropping today on Netflix, Untold, the Murder of Aaron McNair. Before we talk about the documentary, what do you remember about this guy when he was at Alcorn State? Did you know immediately that this would translate to the NFL?
No, and I think most people didn't. And I can remember that vividly because, 94 was my junior year at Georgia Tech. And then going between Georgia Tech to FCS, or Division I AA as they called it then, Eastern Kentucky, and Alcorn State was like rolling. I mean, they were the talk of the college football world at that level because of Steve McNair. But at that time, there had not been any, super noteworthy success stories really outside of maybe Doug Williams. Coming from that level, whether it be the MEAC, whether it be the SWAC, what have you. But this guy was just too good to ignore. I mean, you didn't, in those days, you didn't statistically perform like that. I mean, that was extremely rare. We see it all the time now at every level of college football. But yeah, I just remember going, wow, when you watched him, there was some jaw-dropping moments. And I'll say this, guys, and this helped. The fact that he didn't have to play right away, I think, was really, really important for his success, his development, and the ability to have a long-term future. Not too dissimilar to Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love and some of these guys that we've seen sit for a little while and then become superstars.
Time's a flat circle for me. When LT asked you that question, I thought instantly, I said, my goodness, has Luginbill been evaluating players all the way back to Steve McNair? And then you let me off the hook when you said you were still a player back then. I was like,
God,
how
dang,
old?
dude.
I was like,
I'm 50. I'm not 60.
I was like, how old is Luginbill? I've been giving you the respect
You
of.
like this youthful appearance, your little silver there in the chin?
By the way, ACC Network doing a great job of touring around that big league to all the camps and such. So it's been
I'm in Louisville today.
You're in
I head to
Louisville today.
I head to campus right after I'm done with you fine fellas.
Yeah, and I'll ask you about Louisville then. I'll come back to the question I'm going to ask later on. But Louisville is a team that benefited, I thought, from an easier schedule last year and took advantage of it. Schedule's a little bit more difficult, but it seems like the expectations is still there for Jeff Brom to be a contender.
Well, they are, and it's because they maybe top to bottom actually have a better roster overall. Now, they're missing some components that they've got to plug and play, particularly in the backfield last year. They were really strong. The whole key to Louisville, in my opinion, is can Tyler Shuck stay healthy? And that's a very valid question. He has played very well when he's played, but he hasn't been able to get through a season. And I think that's the whole key to Louisville's outlook. Defensively, they're going to be really, really good. I think the loss of Colin Lacey is fairly significant just because once he arrived, there was no question that they had made a great choice in the transfer portal and that he was going to kind of be their version of what Jeff Brom had at Purdue and Rondale Moore. And so now they're going to have to find a replacement for him. But this is a team they got everybody's attention. Like you said, Jim, they're not going to sneak up on anybody. They don't necessarily have the benefit of the schedule this year. They're going to get everybody's best. But if the quarterback stays healthy, they could be pretty good.
ESPN and ACC Network's Tom Luginbill with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. If I told you, I'm telling you this piece of information. I've been in my DeLorean. I've traveled to the future. I have come back. Where we're going, we do not need roads. I have come back, and I have told you Florida State lost a game in September. Who beat them? I'll remind everyone. I know you know the schedule. I'll remind everyone. They play Saturday against Georgia Tech in Dublin. They come back for a Labor Day night game against BC. After a bye week, they host Memphis. They host Cal. They're at SMU to round out September. So the game they have lost is who?
If it's not the opener this coming Saturday, I think the SMU game is really, really intriguing. I also see the Cal game, too. Cal's a lot better than people think they are. The running back is an absolute stud.
LT keeps saying that. LT keeps saying that. I keep saying I thought everybody left, but that's two people now.
Jay Knott's a stud, but Francisco Mendoza, when I watched him play Luginbill, the guy could deal it.
They got two quarterbacks. They got him, and then Chandler Rogers comes over from North Texas State. And then defensively, almost everybody's back. They've always been well coached. Now, they're not going to have the athletes that some of these people are going to have, but they'll jump up and bite somebody. The thing about this game this weekend, though, and this is why I would probably if I'm giving you a singular answer, I would maybe say it's this weekend, is there are so many question marks that revolve around the Florida State offense that do not revolve around the Georgia Tech offense. Georgia Tech has far more answers coming into this game offensively at quarterback, up front, at wideout, multiple wideouts, at running back. And I think that Florida State's still going to work to find their way. And everybody's going to have their own opinion of DJ Uiagalelei, guys. But it's been my belief that how many times does he have to show us what he is until we start believing him? And so the question you have to ask yourself, is he good enough? Is he good enough to make people around him better? Is he good enough to not miss open guys? Is he good enough to push the ball vertically and connect with targets? I think that that's a very debatable question based off of his previous history.
Okay, Lugs, I was riding shotgun in his DeLorean. So I'm back to tell you what is more shocking, LSU wins the SEC or SMU wins the ACC?
SMU wins the ACC. That would be far more shocking. And the reason why, they're probably one of the most well-equipped teams to make the jump from the group of five to the Power Five because their strengths are up front on both sides of the ball, which is generally kind of rare at the group of five level. And at quarterback, they're going to have a great supporting cast offensively. They've got a group of wideouts that are really, really good. But what tends to happen, and this happened to TCU, it happened to Utah when they made the jump, is over the course of that long season, you get worn out, your depth gets depleted, Now there's a talent gap between 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 that is far greater than it is for other Power 5 teams. And if you were to suffer an injury somewhere, you were to get worn out, you were to get tired, the back half of the schedule can become really, really challenging. So I would say that would be a much bigger surprise for me. And I think they're going to be a really good football team.
They have me in the car seat in the back of that DeLorean.
No, there was only a front seat.
There is no back seat.
You're going to be like...
That's where the flux capacitor is.
That's right. You're going to be like Jennifer and Marty. You're going to be sitting in Lance's lap.
Okay, I'm in Lance's lap. That wouldn't last long, by the way. Lance would throw me out the window. But I've come back from the future, and Cade Klubnik is the ACC Player of the Year. What did he improve on to win that?
Connecting downfield on throws of 20-plus yards or more, making the routine plays routinely, and a significant uptick in speed at the skill positions on offense. And I'll add another thing. If that were to happen, Clemson is far and away, in my opinion, the favorite to win the league.
Yeah,
because defensively they're loaded.
They're loaded on defense. You're telling me if they get quarterback play better, watch out.
Watch out. There's no question. I think T.J. Moore and Bryant Wesco, the 2 freshman wideouts, are really going to emerge. Tyler Brown emerged last year as a true freshman. They're going to get some guys that were injured, that were not available, particularly for the first half of the season last year. And you could see it in the Duke game, the game that I had. And I actually said it on air. I said the scary part is Duke looks faster than Clemson, and I never thought I would say that. So if the quarterback plays well, if Klubnik makes that leap, they're going to be a really, really difficult team to handle.
You can never discount a quarterback's experience. And Grayson McCall, along with Dylan Gabriel, more experienced than any quarterback right now in college football. Dave Duran's always been knocking on the door of 10 wins. Never really gotten over that hump. But if they were to get 10 wins this year, then they become in the conversation college football playoff. How good do you think NC State will be with Grayson McCall coming in?
Barring injury, I think they're going to be fantastic. I had to rank my top 5 order of finish last week, and I had Clemson, NC State, Miami, FSU were in the top in that order. I can't remember who I had at 5 at that time, but I again just proved the point. I think defensively they're always a tough out, and then they went and got Jordan Waters at running back. Casey Concepcion could play for anybody in the country. They've got 2 tight ends. Offensive line is I think one of the strongest Dave Doran's had in a while, and the quarterback brings an option element that they haven't had before that's going to be, I think, really difficult for people to contend with. And it's funny, you bring up Clemson, Jim. You know, Lance, you just brought up NC State. I was asked the question several weeks ago because everybody keeps saying, well, how many, college football playoff caliber teams are in your conference? I think that's the wrong question to ask. It's how many teams can you get to 10 wins or more?
Right.
And quite honestly, Florida State, Clemson, NC State, Miami, and the one team that's got the best schedule and the most returning production to do it is Virginia Tech.
Yep.
So now you've got with no divisions, you've got some upper crust that's pretty good there. That puts the conference in the mix with the Big Ten and the SEC, assuming they're all going to have at least 3 or 4, which they likely will. Maybe not the Big Ten, but I think the SEC could. So it's going to be interesting to see how the ACC unfolds because there are some definite double-digit win caliber teams in the conference.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think I saw your list, and I think Virginia Tech was the 5th one.
Yeah, I think VT was the 5th one, and their schedule is beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, before you go, can you explain to us, as someone who is constantly inside football complexes, around coaches of football teams, why Alabama thinks so much of a general manager of a football program that they are willing to give him a $325,000 raise to keep him from leaving? Courtney Morgan is staying in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
He'll be paid almost $1 million. Why is a general manager now so important to a college football program?
Because there has become so many moving parts and so many factors and logistics, everything from the internet to graphics to social media to name, image, and likeness, the transfer portal, managing databases. I mean, I'm partner in the UC report, and we have every Power 5 school except for one as a client from a player evaluation standpoint. We have over 45 schools at the group of 5 level, and managing that database day to day and constantly having to know and be organized with your board of where everybody is, where everybody's going, where does everybody stand academically, organizing on campus and off campus visits, unofficially, officially. I mean, I could run down a litany of probably 100 different things that did not exist 10 years ago. And so the organizational structure has become so important so that the coaches can coach and not have to be inundated with all of these things that have nothing to do with preparing your football team on the field. I asked, it was actually Dave Doran. I asked Dave Doran, I said, how much of your actual day now do you spend on X's and O's? And he's like, maybe 35%,
Wow.
30 to 35. I mean, so you have to have that infrastructure. And it started with Nick Saban. It started with Nick Saban and a guy by the name of Ed Manowitz way back in 09, 10, where they started to put together this pro personnel general manager. Instead of a recruiting department, it was a personnel department. And everybody that caught like wildfire, lit a fuse. And there are probably 30 different guys that came through that program now that are running college football programs from that model. And that's what this thing has turned into. It's crazy.
All right, you guys loved it and supported it so well last year. We want to do it again. Every Monday morning starting Labor Day, this man right here, Tom Luginbill, will join Jim Dunaway.
Let's do it.
For Monday Morning Live, 7 to 8 a.m. Central. Episode 1 is Labor Day, when we will have a ton of Week 1 to discuss right here on this same platform, Monday Morning Live, just like last year.
You're working on Labor Day, man.
So first of all, I work every day, number one, and I was under the impression we were starting next week.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm doing? I'm sleeping in an hour.
That's right.
The heck with you guys.
Yeah.
But no, guys, I'm so fired up. I mean, how many years has it been now that a group of us, the three of us, two of us, one, have been working together, and it has been not only a pleasure but an honor, and we have such a good time, and I can't wait, man. I'm really looking forward to it.
Monday Morning Live, starting Labor Day morning.
And, of course, we love entertainment with you. You were dead on Alien Romulus. I went to see it Sunday afternoon. Yeah, I meant to text you back. I did mention you yesterday on the show. I thought it did pay homage to both Alien and Aliens perfectly. I thought it was well done.
Didn't it look like it was filmed in the 80s? Like you're watching it, you think you're watching a movie from 1983. But I thought the fact that there's so little CGI and that so much of the effects and everything are real and costumed and animatronics, I thought it was fantastic.
Well, and a character that gets brought back, our backroom guy Lunceford, very critical on the CGI for that character. I thought it was grainy and done like that on purpose. The character Rook, the synthetic. But anyway, not to get too deep and nerdy on us here, but I thought it was done well.
Yeah, I did too. I thought it was really, really good. You guys got anything else on the plate, shows? Or,
are you not going to watch the Steve McNair today?
I probably won't have time to watch it today just because of where I've got to head here for the next several hours, but I will be catching up. I just watched something on Lacey Peterson. Remember her? And Scott Peterson on Netflix. There's like they kind of revisit that, and that was kind of creepy to read. I feel like that was like the second OJ trial. Remember, that captivated the entire world. So absolutely nuts. Oh, I'll give you a good one real quick. Here's a good one before you got. I know I'm holding you guys up.
No, you're good.
Cowboy Cartel on Apple. It's about how the FBI and the DEA and ATF and all of these people started to realize that the drug cartels, the Zeta cartel in Mexico, was infiltrating our country through horse racing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I started it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I'm going back. Girlfriend's never seen Tulsa King. So we're almost done with that my second time. But, so season 2, I think, drops September 20th.
Yep. I can't wait. That'll be my plane ride viewing for this fall.
I'm trying to get these guys on it. I told them it's Stallone.
Oh, it's great. Stallone
is best.
So good because it's something he's never done before, and he's really funny.
Yep.
That's the thing that's good about it.
Yeah.
You guys got to start listening to us. What's the matter with you?
I don't know. We're idiots. I'm a complete idiot.
Well, the last time you recommended a cowboy movie to me, those two guys went camping. I'm kidding.
Hey, do we have time to do it here? I want Luginbill to see this. Scott, do we have time?
What?
We don't? Okay. Yeah, never mind.
I'll
send it to you. I'll send it to you.
All right.
We've got maybe the most awkward
really.
moment in the history of our show.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, is that fair, Forster? Is it fair? Rocky, is it fair?
I haven't seen it.
So it might be in the conversation.
Yeah,
the conversation.
To me,
I wasn't a part of it.
No, you weren't.
You weren't. I'll send it to you. It's the most awkward thing I think I've ever seen.
Okay, I haven't even seen it, so I'm going to be as surprised as anyone. I guess I lived it, though. Luke's, thank you. Enjoy the trip there in Louisville. We'll see you now on Labor Day. See you on Labor Day.
Yeah, Labor Day. Sounds good.
All right, buddy.
Appreciate it, guys.
Take
Have a
care.
good one.
That is
See ya.
ESPN and the ACC Network's Tom Luginbill. Again, Monday Morning Live starting Labor Day, 7 a.m.
You think everybody's trying to figure out what he was watching back there? He just had a little shot of the TV.
Show being brought to you by our friends at Wharf Casual Seafood.
Wharf Casual Seafood, fast casual restaurant serving American caught seafood. They've got locations, Montgomery, Dothan, Alexander City. Plus, just opened that newest location. I had a chance to sit down with Mo and Carly, Moody Leeds. They've got margarita and beer specials on Tuesdays, half off wine on Wednesdays. They serve seafood entrees, tacos, platters, po' boy salads, burgers, catering, to go. They've got it all. Check them out. Check the website out in the location nearest you. Check out the menu today. Go to wharfcasualseafood.com. That's wharfcasualseafood.com.
And also by our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, another segment than Clay Travis coming up at the top of the hour. But UCA, want to remind you, as time moves on from the 20s to the 30s, there are things that you need to stay on top of as a man. 35 urologists on hand at 16 locations across the great state of Alabama, treating all your urological needs from prostate health to kidney stones. They'll take care of you. Visit urologycentersalabama.com, or you can call that number right there, 205-930-0920, 930-0920, urologycentersalabama.com to schedule an appointment.
Follow Jon Lunceford on Twitter at jlunce.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hang out with the Next Round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out the Next Round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters. It is the will to prepare to win." Hi, I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryant Bank, and I can tell you that our Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that is right for you. At Bryant Bank, we specialize in community banking and offer personal and business loans, checking and savings accounts, mobile banking, and treasury management services. Stop by one of our 18 offices across the state of Alabama to find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
I don't think I can. I was asked about a sea fishing expedition. I know you guys were too. I don't think I could handle the motion.
Yeah, I've never been snapper fishing. We're going to be at the Floribama Friday, and there was an opportunity to maybe snapper fish. Someone reached out to us and wanted to know if we would like to join them Saturday morning. I've never done it.
Yeah, I don't know how far out you go for snapper fishing.
Yeah, but I'm okay on the old river side.
Yeah.
Because it's.
I don't think you're going to get any there.
It's a river, right? Yeah. But out in the ocean, I think I would get tremendously seasick. What about you?
I mean, look, I get motion sickness at movies. I'm sure.
Yeah, me too. Like the barrels at Six Flags. Do you ever ride that? Teacups at Disney. Oh, they got me every time.
But I've never done the Dramamine, and I've heard that it works.
Now everybody's saying you don't go out very far.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know. I talked to Uncle Steve, and I was like, boat after the show on Friday, just cruising around like we've done in the past. Yep. Pirates Cove.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's more my wheelhouse. But I'm down for whatever.
I'm more of a pontoon, not a deep sea fishing guy. But I've always wanted to go one time.
What, deep sea fishing?
Yeah, but I'm scared. I'm afraid I'm gonna get out there and get sick, and then you're miserable because then you're not coming back. If we're out there for 6 hours.
I had a buddy, Brad Jackson, was like, I think the best thing in the world, if you could logistically do it. Now it would be impossible to work out, but if you had a service that would just take seasick people away from the charter and bring them back in.
That's right.
Because when you're on that charter, they're like, good luck. Yeah. We're coming in 5 hours.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, so you suffer
because we have a lot of clients here. You go throw up on that end of the boat there. Hemp Hill Services bring you this part of the show, and then we'll get to the awkward moment coming up here in just a second.
Do you know what it is?
I don't, but I have a guess.
205-229.
And I'm going to try not to get mad and throw up awkward moments you've done in the past, but okay.
Oh, wow.
Trusted name Birmingham is trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. If any of these issues arise, they are ready to serve you. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Hard to stop a train, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Getting ready for the college football season. We started Dunaway After Dark on Sunday nights. We'll do it every Sunday night at 10 o'clock throughout the college football season. Some other drops in. And I made a comparison. You want to set this up?
Well, I mean, it just came across. I think Taylor re-hit it last night. It came across, and I was watching it, and Maddie came up and was like, what is that? And I was going to watch it again, but I couldn't because it really is one of the strangest, most awkward things I've ever seen in my life.
What a setup for this.
Yeah. No, it is. I knew it when I was doing it.
Right.
I did it intentionally to be.
Oh, I don't think you could do this intentionally.
Oh, I mean, I wrote it out, Lance. I knew what I was doing.
So this is scripted?
I knew what I was doing.
So you knew it was going to be this awkward?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. I like that you lean into the awkward now.
Yeah. It's a start of a new podcast. I wanted to give a hook to get some people to start watching it. I don't, ask anybody if their dad's dad or anything in it.
That's become show lore.
But this does pass it into awkwardness. Hit it, Rockstar. It's about 1:40.
And I think to myself about when I was young, and you remember us guys, we'd always use the old baseball analogy about first base, second base, third base, and so on. And we'd lie a lot, and we'd always brag about things and stuff. Opening weekend's a lot like first base. You remember those kissing parties you used to have in 7th, 8th grade, early on in high school?
Already
you
can't
could
look.
kiss what seemed like for hours and hours.
You guys feel me?
It didn't matter how good the kisser was. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. Maybe, maybe Susan had a little too much garlic salt on her pizza. Didn't matter. Or maybe the braces of Felicia got in the way. Didn't matter. You kissed and you kissed. You loved it. That's what this opening weekend is. I just did our first TV schedule here. Not a lot of great games on this thing. Week 0, in fact, is Florida State, Georgia Tech at 11 a.m. on ESPN from over in Ireland, in Dublin. And then after that, not sure I'll watch another game. Maybe a little SMU, Nevada before SMU beats the brakes off of them. That'll be a bloodbath. Other than that, it's Florida State, Georgia Tech, possible upset, and then we wait for Thursday night. Then it gets pretty good. Then we go to second base where we start to try to, figure out who's going to be good, and maybe we can be a little awkward and maybe a few upsets, and then we end up finally unhooking some good contests between some small and little athletic teams that are out to get you and some overwhelming mammoth teams that are intimidating, but just a really good experience as we go through weeks 2 and 3 and 4 and 5.
I skipped third base.
Then later on, we get to third base, and then finally we go all the way to rivalry weekend of the championships. It's college football season, man, and I can't wait. As red-blooded Americans, I know you are too.
I had a third base segment written,
right?
But even the censors didn't let the third base segment down.
You know what Dunaway's doing right there? He's channeling Josh Pate. You know how Josh does hour and a half long show or whatever, and the entire show's good, but Josh has got this one segment where he's like, people say all the time, Josh, the ACC can't get 2 teams in. I say America, why not? You know, Josh, and he's got that great segment, and it plays so well on social media. Dunaway was channeling his inner Josh Pate, but he's like, I can't just be, great value Josh Pate. I can't be Timu Josh Pate. I got to make it Jim Dunaway's version of Josh Pate.
Awkward Josh Pate.
Daniel said, my word.
Yeah. So every Sunday night at 10 o'clock, other episodes when needed throughout the week. Next week, we compare opening games, the big ones like Clemson and Georgia, USC, LSU, and, of course, that great Texas A&M Notre Dame game to 7 Minutes in Heaven. That's coming up this week.
Hey, don't you guys – I heard Rick Neuheisel this morning. And I think he had a pretty good idea about week 0. You know, we've got such an abbreviated schedule this weekend with only 4 games. Why not take some games from week 1 and make it really a Group 5 spotlight? So we really don't have to have any Power 4 teams. Just make it all about the Group 5 and have more quality games on week 0.
Like Jacksonville State's playing Coastal Carolina Thursday night. Next Thursday, not this coming Thursday.
I'd love to see it Saturday.
It's a 3.5-point game. Yeah. I mean, Jack State's 3.5-point favorite over at Amherst Stadium in Jacksonville.
And relatively,
that's a good game
to where they are in the football food chain. 2 good brands.
Oh yeah. And I mean, for a group of 5, that's going to be probably a pretty good game.
Yeah,
I think
with a good crowd.
Yeah, week 0 Saturday, that probably pops a little bit more than it will that first Thursday night.
Yep, it is it's a great idea, and or even some of those, really good FCS versus FBS games. I mean, the North Dakota State Colorado game.
Well, that's going to be a big Thursday night game. Yeah. I think people are going to get hooked in on that one, though.
Yeah, the South Dakota State Oklahoma State game would be a lot more interesting than what we have on week 0.
Yeah,
other than Florida State,
I
Georgia
think
Tech.
Unless it gets to be upset central, that Oklahoma State, South Dakota State's going to fly under the radar. I think everybody's dialed into North Dakota State and Colorado.
Was that your idea, or did you say somebody else's idea?
No, Neuheisel's.
Yeah, Neuheisel's idea. That's a great idea.
I think it's a really good idea.
That is a great idea.
I just want more games on week 0.
Yeah, why not?
As long as you
Maybe
give
we
me
start calling that week 1.
Just a quality game at 11, one at 2:30, one at 10. Then give me a West Coast. Give me 4 straight quality games, and I'm good.
That's right. Why? And
if we're going to do it,
and throw me one on Sunday and one on Monday.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole weekend started. This week 0 started when we would have the kickoff classic, like the great Miami Auburn game. What year was that? 84. It was after Miami won the national championship, and Auburn had Bo Jackson back.
Yep.
That was up in New Jersey. That was a kickoff classic.
Alabama played Ohio State in that same game.
Yeah, but I think that was Labor Day night.
Yeah, normally it was a Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And the thing I remember is just us trying to get our book back. So running seriously to different bars, letting people know we were back in town, going to different fraternity houses. Not everybody was back in town by that point. But you wanted to see, kind of get a gauge on where you were week 0 to week 1.
It was a small number, maybe 1 or 2 games.
And
you could take the boat out, see if it had a leak.
Another one in Anaheim the week before. Remember that? The game in Anaheim. That was where Tennessee and Colorado tied.
I think it was really the Disneyland kickoff.
Something like that. I think it was, yeah. Tennessee and Colorado tied to start the year. I think Tennessee ended up with 2 or 3 ties that year.
Yeah.
It was like it might have been 1990.
Oh, I don't miss ties.
Oh, ties were awful. I can't believe we even ever had a situation where we're like, we'll just not do overtime.
Hey, Greg over in the chat room, my nephew is one of the starting linemen for North Alabama. You get a little North Alabama, Southeast Missouri, 6 o'clock ESPN, main ESPN on week 0 night. Should be a fun weekend as we get started in college football. Clay Travis due up at some point in the next segment. The show being brought to you by our friends at Lanyas Furniture. Tell us about Lanyas, the folks who have been with us for many, many years. And it's good to hear Jon Lanyas' voice back on the airwaves here, talking about great values.
Yeah, love it. Reggie, also out there at Lanyas, wants to remind you that they just received a shipment of reclining leather sofas that start at just $11.99. So football season's here. You're looking for that comfortable setup down in your man cave, your living room. How about the reclining leather sofa starting at just $11.99? They are a great deal. They're going to go fast. They also have some big reclining sectionals on sale at $19.99. Make that short drive. Go see our friends at Lanyas. Again, located out of Birmingham. Take exit 280 off of I-65. The Hallmark Farms exit. Go south on U.S. Highway 31 for 1.3 miles. Lanyas is going to be right there on your right side. Stop in, see Reggie and John, and make sure you tell them the guys from the Next Round sent you.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you, 969-8100 or Michelson. LaserVision.com.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Excitement awaits at Barber Motorsports Park for the Fanatec GT World Challenge America, September 6th through the 8th. It's a high-octane weekend you won't want to miss. Witness some of the most iconic sports cars like Lamborghini, McLaren, Porsche, and Ferrari battling it out on the track. Enjoy the beer gardens, kids zone, and don't forget to bring your dog for bark at the park on Saturday. The Fanatec GT World Challenge America, September 6th through the 8th. Kids 15 and under get in free. Get your tickets today.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
Maybe you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, or TikTok while we're changing the game yet again. Tyler's Telegrams has been developed exclusively for you.
Hi, this is the lovable boy you know as Tyler the Intern. I'm a businessman now. I will come directly to your door and tell you every time a new piece of TNR content drops. For the low, low price of $740,000, you can be notified by me, one of the biggest stars of the Next Round, about that thing you missed. Sure, the rest of those social media services are free, but so is radio, and we all know how well that's trending.
Tyler's Telegrams is currently operating exclusively in Bibb County. Other social media platforms are available everywhere.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
This hour of the show being brought to you in part by our friends at Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedic, the provider that gets you back into the game. They diagnose, treat, and rehab your injuries. You can call them up, 205-512-3885, 512-3885, precisionsportsortho.com/2024. For all your tweaks, your pulls, your pains, and your breaks, they'll get you back into the game. Locations in Jasper, Alabaster, and all around the Birmingham metro area. Orthopedic care, better together. Find your provider today. Again, 205-512-3885, or visit precisionsportsortho.com
2024. Clay Travis, the founder of Outkick, joins us now. Most expensive college football ticket for week 1 is not Notre Dame and Texas A&M, Clay. That's a huge game. It's Penn State at West Virginia. Different size of stadium in Morgantown, but a couple of good week 1 games were not far off. Have you ever been to a game at West Virginia? Is that one of those bucket list games you want to go to?
Yeah, first of all, I'm glad you're at work after the late night with your boy Biden. Not getting to speak till after midnight on the East Coast, so I appreciate your steadfastness.
You know me, man. I'm a supporter of freedom. I like having 2 choices in elections,
Yeah, you're with her. We know. Look, I went to Morgantown and burned a couch there. People may not remember this, but I did a pilot for FS1 like a decade ago. And I went to, I believe it was the K-State West Virginia game in Morgantown. It was a November game, maybe a Thursday night game. I don't remember the exact. It was freezing. I mean, it felt like it was like minus 15 degrees. Morgantown is a super cool place. They were not particularly excited about their team. I don't even remember who won the game. But I've been to Morgantown, and you said that's where the Penn State game is. And then where was the other big attraction for the game?
College Station.
Surprise me at all, because you can fly in. I've been to College Station obviously several times, but you can fly in. A huge percentage of the Penn State fan base is just north of West Virginia. Easy drive down. From I think I flew into Pittsburgh to drive to Morgantown. I think that's probably the closest way to be able to get there. So it doesn't surprise me that given how many massive Penn State fans there are, that would be an incredibly difficult ticket to get. That Pittsburgh-West Virginia rivalry was one of the great rivalries out there that we lost because they ended up in different conferences. But there's no love lost between Western PA and the West Virginia area, and honestly, if you've never been to those areas, the state of Pennsylvania is the 3rd most rural state in the entire country. That surprises people because people think about Pittsburgh or they think about Philadelphia, which are obviously big cities. But as soon as you get a little bit into Western PA, I mean, it is super, very rural, farmland, everything else. And those Penn State fans have a lot in common, actually, with SEC fans.
Well documented. The first time you were on the show was almost 20 years ago, and it was when Alabama was looking for a replacement for Mike Shula. If I went back
How wild is that, by the way?
It was one of the wildest shows.
Am I the longest running guest that has never been paid $1 in the history of your radio career?
I think that's fair. Is that fair?
On a continuous basis,
Yeah.
100%.
And the richest guy to not be paid $1 either.
That's probably true. So I don't know Barkley. Do you pay Barkley?
No.
And I'll tell you, it's amazing. Every time we vote on whether you're staying on the show or not, it's always a 2-1 vote.
So I think Clay would love to get voted off. Hey, but Clay, if we went back to, that weekend in Atlanta and over a beer, I would have told you, hey, 2024 rolling into the college football season, USC and UCLA are going to be in the Big Ten, Texas and Oklahoma in the SEC. Players are going to be getting paid millions of dollars. We're going to have a 12-team playoff, and we're going to have on-campus general managers making almost $1 million. What was your take on Alabama paying Courtney Morgan $825,000 a year?
Well, I mean, I think it's inevitable, right? And I'll get to that in a sec. I think it would have been fairly easy to predict that Texas and Oklahoma would end up in the SEC if we had been sitting down at the strip club where you were doing your show from when I came on your show for the first time ever, which is an unbelievable story in and of itself. If I remember correctly, you were getting a lot of heat because...
Oh, yeah. Our producer, it was call after call. I cannot believe they're doing the round table from the Cheetah in Atlanta. And then when you talked about exhuming Bear Bryant's body from Elmwood Cemetery, it completely flipped. And nobody said another word about the Gentlemen's Club.
It's really, really funny. So I think you could have predicted Oklahoma and Texas to the SEC. I would have been a bit surprised about SC and UCLA to the Big Ten just because the geographic jump is so substantial. But I wouldn't necessarily have been surprised that we would have moved more towards a free market system. And to me, this is inevitable, right? Because you really need a GM to be managing these NIL deals because everybody knows what everybody else is making. And the challenge here a lot of times is you can be a junior and you can be like, man, I busted my ass for 3 years at this college, but maybe you weren't that high of a level of a recruit, right? You're a 3-star, you're a 4-star, and you've worked your way to being a starter. And then there's some freshman coming in making $600,000-$700,000 a year that you're better than. And so you turn and you go with your hand out. And remember, there's no salary cap. So, and there's no, contracts that restrict movement. So you really have to manage player expectations and player reality every single time that you are doing one of these NIL deals. Because if you end up overpaying a 17-year-old to come to your school, for instance, it's not just that you overpaid him. It's that in the process, you have ended up now alienating several members of your team because they look around, as happens at any place of work, and say, wait a minute, that guy's making way more money than me, and I'm better than him. I deserve more. And so you have kind of a constant merry-go-round of players that are coming into the coaches' offices and saying, hey, where's mine, based on what they see of the reports about what guys are getting. So I think you have to have somebody managing relationships like this. And frankly, I think a lot of coaches want to be able to put it off on somebody else, right? Like if you're the wide receivers coach, you don't want to be in the business where you have to negotiate deals with your wide receiver. You want to be saying, hey, that's the corporate side. That's, this GM guy. That's the business that's being run. My job is just to get you better and get you paid as much as you possibly can. They used to say, the coaches could say, hey, you're not going to get paid that much now. This is about investing in yourself to be able to make massive amounts of money in the NFL. But almost every quarterback in the SEC is making more money than Brock Purdy this year, which is one of the craziest stories out there that nobody talks about.
That's insane. I never thought of that because of the rookie contract. That is insane.
Think about that. Other than Mason Vanderbilt, I bet every starting quarterback in the SEC this year is making similar to Brock Purdy or, in some cases, a lot more. Like Jalen Milroe and Nico are making a lot more money this year to play college football than Brock Purdy is making to play for the San Francisco 49ers.
That's insane. Clay Travis, founder of Outkick, is with us here on the JohnsonRVCenter.com hotline. As we get ready for this college football season, and I know you're excited about Tennessee and their potential, there are 9 or 10 SEC fan bases. This was a question on Reddit the other day that really think they're going to have a special season because of that 12-team playoff. There's more opportunities to make it into the playoffs. Which fan base do you think's on the and this was the question on Reddit, which fan base is on the verge of being totally disappointed this year, that they think right now it's about to be a great year, but really they're going to end up disappointed? Which one is that fan base of the 9 or 10 in the SEC that think they're going to end up in the playoffs?
There's about 6 of them, right? So if I were ranking likelihood of making the playoff this year, the thing that I go to first is quarterback. And, do you have a reliable returning quarterback? And so I understand LSU is super excited, and look, they've had a lot of production on the offensive side. I would take LSU out of the equation. Presuming Quinn Ewers stays healthy at Texas is going to be really good. Doesn't mean they're going to, the difference between making the playoff, let's be clear, for a lot of these teams is going to be 9-3 versus 10-2, right? So if you're 9-3, I think it's going to be hard for you to get in. If you're 10-2, I think it's going to be hard for you to miss. So I think Texas, Ole Miss, when you look at Ole Miss's schedule, it is infinitely easier than most of the other schedules out there. I think Georgia, and then I think it'll come down to Alabama or Tennessee for the 4th SEC team. Now, if they get 5, maybe both of those schools get in, but that's the way that I would break down my top 5 most likely. I think LSU gets bumped in my equation. Look, there are certainly reasons for A&M with the new coach to feel optimistic. If you go look at their talent, they're pretty incredible. If you go look at Missouri's schedule, I don't think it's crazy to look at schedules and start trying to contemplate how that breaks down. Missouri's schedule is way easier than most of the other schools out there. But if I were breaking down, my top 5 would be the 5 that I just said. If you get 5 in, and by the way, I think it's what is it? 9 of the top 20 teams in the most recent poll, are they in the SEC? Am I correct about that?
Yeah.
So it's not crazy to me that you would be able to get 5, but those are the 5 that I think will be right there to the end. And I can go into the schedules individually. Like, for instance, Tennessee, I think it's going to come down to how do they do against Oklahoma on the road, Alabama, and Georgia. And if you want to toss in NC State there, that's a tough neutral site game probably that Tennessee wishes it wasn't having to play given the other games. But can Tennessee go 2-2 in those 4 games? I think they can. If Tennessee goes 2-2, a 10-2 Tennessee team against their schedule, I think it's in. Alabama, I'll be up in Wisconsin for that game. I'll be down in Tuscaloosa with Big Noon for the Georgia game. So you start to break down the Alabama schedule, for instance. How does everything come out in their favor in those, proverbial toss-up games? I think it's going to be super fun. I can't wait. LT, I would have said praise the Lord if you had told me that at the strip club, not just because I like naked women, but also because I like college football playoff. To have 12 teams competing would have seemed crazy. And I think I said this on your show before. My boys, that are now 16, 13, and 9, the idea that they'll look at history. They go on YouTube, they watch players, they watch old games. That's one of the cool things about technology for them that we didn't have when we were growing up. But they come to me every now and then and they're like, Dad, how are there just 2 teams that tied for the national championship? I'm like, well, the season ended, they didn't actually play, and we just all sat around and argued about who we thought was better. And their minds are just blown that could have ever been the way that the college football season ended. Like, Nebraska, Michigan, 97. They're like, so you just sat around and everybody just argued, like, which team was better? We're like, yeah, that's what we did. And, and then we voted. And they're just kind of blown away by the whole process.
Okay, before we let you roll, the Netflix documentary on Steve McNair dropped today. I don't know if you've seen it yet. I know we've talked about it a little bit. It's Untold, the Murder of Aaron McNair. It premieres today, 58-minute documentary. The more you learn about it, what do you think actually happened? And have you seen this yet?
I've not seen it, but I mean, this is the biggest story in Nashville sports probably in my career. And I think I told you guys, I don't know if you were ever in the old Cumulus studio. For people who know Nashville, there's a little hill to the south of like 2nd Avenue in Nashville with a big tower on it. That's where Cumulus used to be based. So that's where I started my local radio career, in that building. Directly behind that building is the condo complex where Steve McNair got murdered. So when the murder happened, the police were coming and pulling all of the, security cam footage from the radio station to try to see what cars might have been moving around at that hour of the night. I mean, so it wasn't just that, we're the local Nashville sports talk station that everybody listens to. It's that legitimately the station itself bordered the condo complex where Steve McNair was murdered. I've always found it unlikely that a 19-year-old Dave & Buster's waitress murdered Steve McNair and then killed herself too. That is the story. Sahel Kazemi, I still remember her name. I mean, this was a huge story. I'll go watch the doc. I'm glad you let me know about this. But it just seemed always very strange to me that she would kill him and then kill herself. Again, I look at the data. The number of women who blow their brains out, and I'm not trying to be graphic, but most women don't commit suicide with guns. It's very, very rare. To say nothing of, young teenage girls, it's almost unheard of. Men don't commit suicide. I think the stats are men don't commit suicide as often as women, but they're way more successful when they do it because men tend to use guns and tend to, be more violent in the way that they choose to take their life. So there's just always been an incongruity to me in what is a pretty teenage girl who's working at a sports bar deciding to blow a guy's head off and then do it to herself as well. That's just always seemed unlikely to me. That is the story. That is what the police have told us. But personally, without having seen this documentary, and I think LT, didn't we talk about this a little before? Didn't they do like a deep podcast dive on this too?
Yeah,
like
I think NBC Sports did the podcast on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think if anything, guys, this story would be way bigger than it is if it happened in a social media era, because this was pre-social media really taking off. I mean, this was when you still found out. It was, if I remember correctly, it was like July 4th, like 06 or 07 or something like that, and everybody was texting, right? It was like one of the last stories that I remember my friends telling me about via text, where you didn't find out about it on social media or by getting an alert to your phone. It was still kind of the pre-social media, pre-Twitter era.
He's Clay Travis. He's the founder of Outkick. We appreciate your time. You can go watch all of Clay's stuff on Outkick and enjoy the day with him, with Buck on the radio as well. Clay, have safe travels, man. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, can't wait. First game Saturday, boys. The worst and longest off season is over. I cannot wait.
Yep, Clay Travis, man. Thank you. By the way, next 32 Saturdays, either college football or college basketball.
That's unbelievable.
Next 32 Saturdays. So that just leaves us a very long 20 weeks without college athletics.
Again, I think most people agree with me. I know your summer, mine is fall, then summer.
Yeah.
Then spring, then winter. But the fall and really football season is what puts it over the top.
Yeah, as I get older and less mobile, I guess, I'm not as summery as I used to be. I'm not good at the beach or pool anymore.
Don't you think and I know football season goes fast, but at least those Saturdays and Sundays, watching 4 consecutive games, it does stretch out.
Yeah, no, I love it. I can't wait. So 32 Saturdays in a row starting this Saturday with college athletics, football and basketball. Should be a lot of fun. We'll get back into more college football. I'll give you those ticket prices right after LT tells us about Hydra Live, the most expensive top 5 games according to Vivid Seats. Coming up right after he tells us about Hydra Live.
IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy, all under one roof. Boost your immune system with Hydra Live therapy. IV therapy treatments packed with nutrients to increase energy, reduce stress and anxiety, boost that immune system, and much more. Ask about memberships. Very important. Members rewarded with deep discounts. You receive 1 free IV bag per month, basically recouping the IV membership fee in just one visit. Hydra Live therapy, open daily 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. 2 locations in Birmingham, Homewood, Highway 119 in Greystone, also a location in Tuscaloosa. Very important. Mention the next round, 20% off any of those great services. For more information, hydralivetherapy.com.
From Ben Booth and the folks at Vivid Seats, most expensive college football tickets for week 1, skipping over this weekend's games, $240, Penn State at West Virginia.
I am a little surprised. I know that venue is obviously smaller than Kyle Field.
It almost seems like almost 40% smaller, though, right?
Yeah, and I wonder how many of those are Penn State fans, but good for Neil Brown. Like, I didn't think at this time next year that he would be here to coach this game.
Not a big difference, 240, 222 in a massive stadium for Notre Dame and Texas A&M.
Yeah.
I think it's the biggest in college football.
Would you assume, though, a ton of Notre Dame fans will be making that trip as well?
Yeah, especially the alumni that lives in Texas. It's their one chance to see a big game. Third is $168 get-in for Miami and Florida in Gainesville.
I'm a little surprised, but, that is a really good fan base.
Fourth most expensive ticket, $126 in Vegas for USC and LSU. LSU fans will manhandle USC fans in that crowd.
I would agree. Now, I will say this. That is one of the biggest liabilities typically for sports books is USC on a given Saturday because there's so many people that come from the Los Angeles market. And remember, every 30 minutes they've got a direct flight nonstop.
Right.
And so it's so easy to get there from L.A. I do agree there will be more LSU fans, but there will be a lot of USC fans.
And then the blowout in Atlanta, so people say, Clemson at Georgia, $112 get in. That's an indicator because Clemson travels well. It's Georgia's backyard. I think that price being right there is an indicator that a lot of fans think that's going to be double-digit blowout type situation.
Yeah, I know you've gone to a lot more of these games over the years than I have because the last opening day game I went to was in Arlington for Alabama and Michigan in 2012. And it just completely threw my entire day out of whack. I mean, these games are fun because you're so excited about college football, but I remember Clemson and Auburn was going on at that exact same time, and so it was really impossible to watch both. So if you're going to one of these games, good, but I would rather be sitting on my couch watching them all.
Yeah, I was at the Clemson-Auburn game, not at the Alabama-Michigan game that year when Dabo went to Jordan-Hare, right?
Yeah.
And went on to have a pretty good year, if I remember correctly.
In 2012, I was going to say, I think that's the year they lost to West Virginia in the bowl game.
Yeah, didn't end well.
But still, I think they won 10 games.
Yeah. All right, so that's Vivid Seats, at least where we sit right now, the 5 best tickets, most expensive get-in tickets for week 1 of college football. Don't forget, Friday's show from the floor of Bama is our bold prediction show. 3 Guaranteed Friday coming up. You give us 3 bold predictions on Guaranteed Friday. That's this Friday from the floor of Bama, 9 to 12 Central. If you're in the area, come see us. We'll have a lot of fun there. And don't forget our friends at Odie's. Get you ready always for a big week coming up. Live music. Rockstar is a part of it usually. But he's also a big part of Wednesday night trivia.
Yeah, so we were out there bowling and bragging, 15th annual at the Crestline location. We'll be out at Crestline again tomorrow night for Odie's Team Trivia. Make sure you stop in and see us. We get started a little after 8 o'clock. Get there early. Enjoy some of the incredible food from Rodney Davis, award-winning wings, delicious burgers, great sandwiches and salads, ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. Not only that location, the newest location in Edgewood. Get in today. Go see Will Haver and that great staff. It's Odie's Tavern.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late-night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
The World Wide Web is a large place. Find all your favorite people and content in the same spot. NextRoundLive.com is full of wonderful tidbits about the show you know and love. Find our gear, listen to your favorite personalities, follow our socials, and enjoy your trip to NextRoundLive.com.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with a TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backroom's go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at The Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
Show 767 with you, 4 days away from the start of the college football season. But a little baseball before LT tells us about Michelson. You get to see the Braves tonight, no problem, on TBS at 6:20. Phils and Braves start a 3-game series. You will not get to see Austin Riley, though. If the Braves were to go on and win the World Series, what a documentary this team would be, because they would have overcome almost every star on the team, missing significant time. Austin Riley gets hit in the hand on Sunday. It is fractured. He is out 6 to 8 weeks. And if you don't follow the Braves, you may only remember his slow start. But since June 1st, he has 16 home runs and 38 RBIs. He had turned it around. And unfortunately for friend of the show, Austin Riley, a broken hand.
Well, I tell you what's unfortunate, Brown, I'll let you get to your point, is your two favorites in the National League coming into the season have both been decimated. Both the Braves and the Dodgers, we never got to see these teams whole, nor will we get to see these teams whole.
So it's 6 to 8 weeks gets you where? Help me with the calendar here. So that's going to get you end of September. Best case scenario would be 6 weeks.
Yeah, end of September. It's early October to mid-October. So
you could be back for the playoffs. You could miss the series, first opening series.
And it looks like, I don't want to eliminate anybody, the Giants or anybody like that, but it looks like this is going to come down to Braves-Mets for that wild card spot right now, right?
Yeah, and the Braves did pick up Urshela today. One-time Yankee, most recently the Tigers, third baseman who got dumped by the Tigers, ironically, on Sunday. Cleared him up there. So there you go. There is the baseball news there. By the way, this is just moving across the timeline. Alex Cooper, do you guys know her from Call Her Daddy? Used to be with Barstool.
I'm aware that those
probably
people.
I know what she looks like.
I'm aware those people exist. I couldn't.
Call Her Daddy is her podcast, one of the more popular podcasts. She has just signed a deal with Sirius XM, 3 years, $125 million.
Wait, what?
That's $125 million for the duration of the deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
3 years to bring her a show or her podcast to Sirius XM.
So it talks about the Kardashians, orgasms, things like that, and gets.
Well, I mean, she has her guest list. The last 2 years that I've been listening to her and watching it, it's a video cast like us. She has a good guest list.
She got Buster Olney on?
She doesn't have Buster Olney or Clay Travis on.
Let's talk about the wild card race, Buster.
Yeah,
you think Buster would be like, "Holy cow! What did you just ask me?"
Back on the farm,
milking a cow.
Okay, tell us about Michelson Laser Vision.
205-969-8100. That is the number that I called more than 2 decades ago. I used to wear the contacts. I was wasting money each and every year on the contacts and solution. If you're doing it, you were doing the same. Same with the eyeglasses. Make the phone call that I made. Very important. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. She's going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. 0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Ask about pre-inflation pricing as well. 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
By the way, Forrester, if you can give me the Steve McNair screenshot, the thing that pops up on your Netflix for the documentary you're talking about, which is
it's not
dropping
a pistol,
today.
is it?
It is Untold, the murder of Air McNair. It's on Netflix. The guy in the background, Rick Burgess from Rick and Bubba here in town.
Somebody sent us this.
Wait, is he a Titans fan?
No, I think they were doing sideline stuff with them at the time.
Right. Back then they were the hype guys during timeouts.
I remember seeing Speedy do it. I never saw them do it.
Well, their show was on in Nashville, I think, in the Cumulus company that owns the rights, whatever. So DK Design sends us this morning. I texted Rick thinking it's a joke that's not actually Rick Burgess. And Rick that is the photo that will not die. Yeah. I was like, whoa, that's really you? Rick goes, 100% it's me.
Yeah.
I was like, I was texting you that thinking DK was making a joke. It's really Rick.
I mean, who else would that be? It
could be a million different people.
Yeah.
But
do they address the cinnamon roll nickname?
I've asked about that. I have told that is not true. I think it's honey bun, not cinnamon roll.
Quite the urban legend, isn't it?
I don't even know what we're talking about there.
You know. But Rick says 100% that's him.
And Forrester, while you're got your finger on all the pictures here, Colorado School of the Mines. Forrester brought this. Maybe LT did a couple of years ago.
Good hockey school, by the way.
Oh, is it really?
Colorado School of the Mines. They also play football, D2 football. And every year now, this is like 2 years running, they have some of their players for the picture in the media guide and on the website, they sort of do unique things with their hair. So we have a few of them. Start us off here, Forrester. This is, I think that's Joseph Caper there.
Right.
With the hair down in his eyes right there.
That's what we used to call that Bama bangs, right? When JP wore it?
I don't think it was never that low, Brownie.
Only when JP was under distress.
Give me another one, Forrester. Oh, that looks like Braylon Tate right there. Half gray, half not. Frosty on one side.
Hey, he went Roman Harper with the beard, though.
Yeah, he did, and one eyebrow.
Yeah.
Who's next?
So these are not. I mean, don't want to sound like an idiot here. These are not their real hairstyles.
No.
Do this for the.
They do this for the media guide and stuff. Let's just bounce through them. I won't give the names as quick as you can.
Wow.
You could play a game though.
Oh my!
Like real hairdo or not, and like I wouldn't know. I would definitely say that's a no.
Yeah, that's a no. The rest of them are going to be no's.
Oh,
look at this right here.
That's Slash from Guns N' Roses.
Troy Polamalu too.
That's unfortunate.
That's Mike Norvell back there.
There you go.
That's pretty funny. I like that they have a sense of humor about it.
Yeah, and then this guy with the raised eyebrow and the little spike in the. It's sad. It'd be sad if you show up and that's really your hairstyle there.
So many people make college football so serious. I think we lose sight of the fact that these guys do have fun a lot. You know.
Yeah.
It's not all business. It's becoming more and more business, but it's not all business.
Is that all of them? That's it right there. So the Colorado School for the Minds there. If you want to go and. Check all those pictures out on their website there, and that's in their programs and such this year. All right, time for 4 Downs every day. It's brought to you by the great folks at Slice. 4 Downs here, but 5 great locations. In fact, Goose had stopped by and took a sliced pie on the way home when he left. He just left yesterday from our kickoff party. If I understood right, some of you in social.
How many Death Valleys did he have?
All I know was
they found him under the bar.
He was by seeing Sterling. And one of our viewers, they went to Champy's Chicken yesterday for lunch.
The party was Thursday night.
Yeah, and yesterday was Monday.
Correct. Yeah. That's why I'm pointing that out.
And then, so he went to Sterling's, hung out with Sterling for a while, and another viewer and listener, and then went to Slice, packed up a pizza, and then drove back to Georgia. That's what Goose did.
Stop in to one of those 5 locations, the original Lakeview, Vestavia, Montevallo, Crestline Park, newest location in Edgewood. Get in, see the Bajalia Brothers from the Wing and a Prayer, the Hot Mama, the Soul Pie. You're going to love it. Local pizza, local ingredients. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
First down.
Okay, Jay, who was with him, says we were just slow to the timeline. That was actually Friday. Yeah. Taylor sent it to me yesterday in a screenshot.
I just see Goose waking up and walk. What day is it? It's Sunday, Goose.
I didn't know what he's doing from Thursday to Monday. But Jay says, no, it was actually the day after.
Okay,
before he went back.
So this is one of the weirdest 4 Downs that just happened to fall out because it's a lot of celebrity birthdays.
If you have to do a disclaimer.
Fred
starting
Durst.
with first base?
Fred Durst, 54 years old.
Okay.
Better career, Fred Durst or Fred Savage?
Well, Fred Savage did Wonder Years and disappeared.
Yeah.
Well, he did some kind of
well, he was in Austin Powers.
Show.
Okay, help me out. Fred Durst is Metallica?
Right.
Nope.
Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Limp
He was
Bizkit.
founding member of Metallica.
Limp Bizkit.
The Metallica.
Now, I will say, and Rocky, I think you would back me on this, for about 2 months, 3 months in 1999, 2000, they were big.
He was on top of the world. He also directed a John Travolta film. He's a director now, and also touring nonstop. But Fred Savage was also in The Princess Bride. He pretty much owned. He was like the '80s kid. He's one of the '80s kids.
Yeah, it was almost though like Rockstar. He was in Wonder Years, and then every role was him playing the guy from Wonder Years, right? They're like, yeah, you're Wonder Years.
I think he was behind the revamping of the Wonder Years now.
Yeah,
and then he had a little bit of a problem.
Yeah,
come about.
Just so I know for the future.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
What is the lead singer's name with Metallica?
James Hetfield.
Okay, not Fred Durst.
Yeah,
Same, they're close.
Yeah, pretty much the same person.
I actually loved their cover of "Gotta Have Faith." Right?
Yep.
They did that.
That's what broke them out.
Whatever that weirdo Wes Borland.
He's still with them. They're touring right now.
Oh, they are touring. I don't know. I think I'm going to go Fred Savage here.
I'm going to go Durst.
Second down.
For a brief moment.
Yeah.
Al Roker is 70 years old. Better Al career, Al Roker or Al Horford?
Al Roker. I mean, he's been at the top of the game. Like, I would say for meteorology jobs, being the morning show network meteorologist is the top job, right? Is that the top job in meteorology?
And I think in a roundabout way, I don't think he ever appeared.
Because before Willard Scott, right?
Right. In a roundabout way, I don't think he ever appeared on the Weather Channel. but I think he had a hand in designing it, laying out the way it would look, and sort of the laying the foundation for the Weather Channel. Great contribution.
So. But I think that's the highest job you can get in the meteorology world, is being one of the network morning show meteorologists, because I don't think, unless there's like hurricanes or a tornado outbreak, they ever bring it on the nightly news, right? They don't have a weather segment on the nightly news. So you get it in the morning show, and that's the network level. So that's the big leagues.
But I think we tend to forget sometimes how consistent and the longevity of Al Horford's career. You know, going back to the last back-to-back champions until UConn with Florida in 06, 07, and 08. You know, the question was who's going to be the best player off that team in the NBA, and it was Al Horford, not even close.
Yeah, did some people think it'd be Joakim Noah?
Yeah, a lot of people did.
Al Horford is still playing, right?
Al Roker's still weathering.
Yeah, he is. I'm going to go Horford in this situation. Roker, he doesn't have a cool thing like spinning the jelly jar around, telling somebody 100 years. I mean, I'm sure they still do that.
I think his catchphrase is, "Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods."
Yeah, and he sends it to Stephanie Walker here in Birmingham.
That's right, and she does the meta. So I will go Al Roker here. I mean, that's a long career. I haven't seen Today in forever, but I think he even like now does interviews and stuff for them. Like, he doesn't just do the weather. He's like, Tom Cruise is in. Tom, you got a new movie out. What's going on?
Yeah, Al. I don't know why I didn't get one of the main guys.
What happened to Matt Lauer, Al?
Yeah, can't discuss that.
Third down.
You want to talk about a guy that when he got done, he just disappeared. Like, you don't ever see that guy anymore, do you?
Who's that?
Matt Lauer.
Oh, no.
I mean,
I think you saw on season 2 of The Morning Show.
Well, Steve Carell basically played him, but
Amy Adams, 50 years old today. If I asked you the best movie Amy Adams has been in, for me, it's American Hustle.
I will go American Hustle, and she played a fantastic role in that movie, just crazy.
Yeah. The Fighter was good.
Yeah.
American Hustle would be my answer.
American Hustle, one of those movies, I did not like it the first time I watched it.
Really?
And I gave it a second chance and loved it.
And that's with Jennifer Lawrence, who's the redneck
Bradley
wife.
Cooper.
The guy who's got the comb
Jeremy
over.
Renner.
Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. Why could I not say Christian Bale? Christian Bale's terrific in it. I love that movie.
Everyone in the chat room saying The Arrival.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
It's a fantastic movie. It's an alien movie, not a blow-up alien movie.
Who else is in it?
Jeremy Renner, Forrest Whitaker.
Okay.
It's a really good film.
Yeah, American Hustle, a good flick. I really liked it.
Fourth down.
Robert Plant, 76 years old today. Better career, Robert Plant or Robert De Niro?
Robert Plant's with The Who?
Yep.
That's right.
Absolutely. Lead singer of The Who.
There you go.
I will go Robert Plant. I mean, Led Zeppelin is I'm not going to say consensus. You can't get consensus on this, but I think a lot of people would say top 5 band of all time.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would. And he, such an iconic voice, and actually kept it for a while until him and Alison Krauss started doing stuff.
Yeah.
And he knew when it was time to hang up Zeppelin stuff. He can't sing anymore. De Niro has not known when to hang it up, even though he's gone through an expensive divorce.
Yeah.
So he's letting out Bad Grandpa or whatever, Dirty Grandpa, whatever it's called.
Yeah, give me Robert Plant.
Yeah, I'll take Plant.
Lead singer Led Zeppelin, Jim.
Okay, not The Who.
No.
Led Zeppelin. I'm new to Led Zeppelin, so I do like them. So I'll go.
They're just starting.
You're just go Robert Plant.
5 locations of our friends at Slice. Nobody's new to Slice. If you've been around this Birmingham area for a while, you've probably been to one of those 5 locations. Get back in for lunch or dinner. Slice. Birmingham.com for more information. Get in to see the Bajai brothers. Tell them the next round sent you. 5 locations. Again, local pizza, local ingredients. It's our friends at Slice.
Okay, one celebrity birthday you did not mention yesterday was Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins'
Atlanta
birthday.
Falcons quarterback.
He is. So they let him pick the playlist for practice.
He strikes me as a country guy. We got some George Strait on there?
Oh.
King George?
I think he's a 90s rock guy. They sent out the playlist.
Nickelback.
Here we go. It starts off a little of the middle. Jimmy Eat World, 20-year anniversary for Jimmy Eat World.
I kind of like that song.
Thank you. If I did a food podcast up here, we could call it Jimmy Eat World.
Yeah, that is correct.
Jimmy Eats World. The All-American Rejects, Green Day, Fountains of Wayne.
I like Stacy's Mom by Fountains of Wayne.
Fountains of Wayne.
Yep.
Blink-182, love them. Good Charlotte. The Killers, thank you.
This is a good playlist.
Yeah, I think it's 20 years from The Killers, that great album they did. What was it, All the Fuss or whatever?
Yeah.
They're doing a residency right now in their hometown. Why is it a residency if it's their hometown?
Yeah, my older brother just went this weekend to see the Killers in Vegas.
They're at the Caesars Casino there.
He said it was awesome.
Coliseum. So yeah, all that's from all that's from 90s and early 2000s. Pretty good playlist.
That's
Kirk
a good
Cousins.
playlist. No, that's
I actually
right
have
up
that
my alley.
playlist.
Yeah,
I'll
that's right
change
up
the
my
name
alley.
of it to Kirk Cousins. JohnsonRVCenter.com getting you ready for the upcoming college football season, which starts this weekend. You can't take the RV to Dublin, but you can take it just about everywhere else.
I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur is where you find them. Tailgate season is here. Make sure you're tailgating in a brand new or previously owned from Johnston RV Center. They've got the best brands right now and the lowest prices of the season. Don't believe me? How about new and pre-owned travel trailers starting at just $14,995? Fifth wheel starting at just $397 a month. And make sure you've got that lifetime warranty on anything new and previously owned. RV warranty forever at Johnston RV Center, johnstonrvcenter.com.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemphill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the next round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemphill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemphill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemphill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
Hey, you. School's coming back. Time to gear up. And at New Balance Birmingham, we know what's up. Before hitting the books, check out the looks. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280 right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Let's face it, a home is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and our friends at Mortgage Right want to help you build wealth through home ownership. Mortgage Right is all about providing competitive rates, a variety of loan products, and a multitude of resources for a seamless home buying experience. They treat their borrowers like family and are always looking to bring more happy homeowners under their roof. See more by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR today and start living. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239 equal housing lender.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by, ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
You never know what we're up to here at the Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow the Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunceford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in.
Hey, a little fun with Oklahoma State football and Mike Gundy, who seems to be saying a couple of sort of different things here. Now, he's saying one thing, which is real, and then he's trying to help the players in another way. We'll get to all that in just a second. First, I want to tell you about Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing. He was out, he and his lovely wife, Andrea, at our kickoff party just last Thursday again. He had a nice little post on social media where he thanked the entire team up here and about how, you know, a few years ago, back in 2016, when he started advertising with us, it allowed him to buy the company and how it's grown. And a very nice post on Facebook. So we appreciate him so much and how he throws his logo, our logo on his stuff there. So get that free no-cost roof inspection Fully replace that roof, repair storm damage. He gives you a free, no-cost, no obligation inspection of that roof. All you have to do is call the number you see right there on the screen, 542-3531, 542-3531, or look him up on Facebook, Greg from Pell City. He and his wife own the company, locally owned for over 20 years, and A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. It's the great folks at Storm Restoration Roofing. Alan Bowman, he is back at quarterback at Oklahoma State, and he's got a really good sense of humor. Happy first day of 19th grade as he sends out that picture from his social media account.
I wonder if he realizes how fortunate he is to still be in this situation. And Bowman, much like Tyler Shuck that Tom Luginbill was talking about, if Bowman can stay healthy, Bowman is a really good quarterback. And we talk about, there's really... the experience of one of these great quarterbacks means so much. And if Bowman can stay healthy with what they've got production-wise coming back, Oklahoma State can be really good.
Can I put this in perspective for people that don't understand what they're looking at when they look at that photo? September 1st of 2018. September 1st of 2018, okay? Oklahoma State lost to Ole Miss 47-27. Neutral site game. I think it was played in Houston, as memory serves. Alan Bowman was 29 of 49 passing in that game for 273 yards and a touchdown. That was in 2018.
2018.
I mean, it's remarkable.
Yeah.
It is remarkable.
Way before anybody really ever thought of a pandemic.
Yep.
Of us ever doing a digital show. Of him ever ending up at Oklahoma State.
Yep.
What a journey for him. And he's still playing
I'm not going
football.
to say this now that I have got my kids on the payroll, but like being able, that moment in time of college, and I was telling our buddy Will Haver, his son Sam is a senior at Melton Brook, and he's like, I'm just ready to get to college. And I was like, look, your senior year is going to fly by, enjoy it. And I was like, and once you get to college, don't take it for granted. Because, I got told my first semester on campus in Tuscaloosa, this is a special time where you're going to be around nothing really but 18 to 22-year-olds for, 4 years of your life. And now I stretched it to 5.5 years of my life.
Then you became the 23-year-old around
you
the
became Alan Bowman.
But it is true. And looking for athletes, it's different. They've got, obviously a lot more of a grind than the normal student. But, just being in that situation and the old backpack to class.
MyBookie.ag chat room. Caleb, one of our great listeners over in the chat room. I graduated high school in 2018. I graduated college in 2022. This cat's still in college?
That is correct.
Yeah, and still with eligibility.
And Caleb's probably
playing.
envious.
Yeah.
I
Caleb,
would be.
You'd go back too if you were the quarterback.
So if you don't know how this happened, in 2019 he only played 3 games, so that year of eligibility did not count against him.
Red shirt.
Yep. 2020 did not count against anyone, so he got those 2 years for free. So he's really only played in 4 years. And then I was looking, 2021, he only played in 3 games. 2022, he only played in 4 games.
He got a medical red shirt.
That's
one
right.
Of those, yeah.
So, medical red shirt, actual red shirt, COVID year. I think this is going to bring us to the end of the COVID year guys this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Would we classify this as a history of injuries?
Yes, I would say that.
And by the way, B. Foshi points out in the MyBookie.ag chat room, Cam Rising is 25. He's the oldest player this year in college football. So, he's had 7, trips around the earth.
Do
as
you
well.
guys think
That's
we
crazy.
get to a point where guys can play as long as they want?
I brought that up when I said you guys kind of scoffed at it because you're like, if they're not good enough to be in the NFL, why would you want them to stick around a college game? When I brought this up, but I brought it up as one of the potential changes you could see in college football. That,
Well, like a guy like-
why are we limited to 4 years of eligibility?
Look, Stetson Bennett might end up being the next Matt Stafford, but watching this, in his preseason games, he would be an elite quarterback probably for a decade in college football,
There's
making
no
$1
doubt.
million plus every single year.
Georgia would never have fallen off or
Yeah.
never have any fall off of them.
Yeah, and as you heard,
But do you want to
Clay-
see that?
As you heard Clay point out, there were almost every quarterback in the SEC is making more than Brock Purdy this year because of his rookie contract.
Yep.
See, I don't want that in college football.
I don't think I do either, but I'm just saying once players become employees of the athletic department, 2 things. Number one, what's the matter if they go to class? They're employees. And number two, why would you limit it to 4 or 5 years of eligibility?
Boy, you talk, the recruiting's already complicated as is, but you start allowing people to play 6, 7, 8 years.
Yeah. At that point, you're going to need $1 million general manager.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Okay, now here we go. We started with Alan Bowman. Oklahoma State's got some more fun. Before you show me the picture, Forrester, Mike Gundy, big stories on a couple of websites saying back on yesterday, that I have told my players, tell your agents to stop calling us. Stop calling us. The portal is closed right now. They can start calling us again in December, but now I need to be coaching football. You need to be playing football, right? So he has said that to his players. Tell your agents, stop calling us for more money. There's no more money right now.
Yeah.
We're playing football.
Tap is turned off.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll reopen it in December. Call us then. Meanwhile, Mike Gundy and Oklahoma State releases this. They'll have QR codes on the back of their helmets this year, so fans can scan the QR code and donate to Pacific players or just in general to the NIL fund.
Are you kidding?
No, it's 100%. It's linked to the – so if who's the quarterback we just talked about?
Alan Bowman.
If Alan Bowman is wearing old man Alan Bowman.
Don't worry, he forgets his name too.
I'm sure. He's like, QR code, what is that? Yeah. If Alan Bowman is wearing his helmet, that QR code will go straight to his account.
Yep.
Like you can just donate to Alan Bowman.
I think Rockstar's done this with Venmo when he's playing. I mean, we've seen it in Floribama.
Very popular now, in fact, because, I would give you a tip if I had cash.
People don't carry cash.
Yeah, but
you get
a struggling artist, I understand. A ninth-year quarterback that's already making 7 figures.
So do you? I will. Well, I'm not going to say that. But do you get? Did you see an increase in tips, Rockstar?
No,
a decrease.
Not a decrease. I mean, it's
about the same
level.
Yeah,
yeah. I will tell you this: that I've done that twice now. Once when we did we were up in Nashville. We were going to do that show from Losers, and one of the times we were in Nashville, I was at that bar. No, I was going to the hockey game with John Willard. I was going to the hockey game, so I went to Losers. I'd learned about the owner and everything, so I liked it. Went there, listening to a girl sing music before we walked over to the stadium, and she had a QR code out, and I liked what she was singing. So I went to the QR, and by the time you get it on your Venmo and stuff, I was like, so instead of throwing $2 in there, I gave her 10.
Yeah, for all this trouble, I'm just going to do $2.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I've seen that. I just wonder if it helps or hurts tips.
And I think she asked me at that point, where's Jim? And I was like, here, is there a certain song you want to hear? And I couldn't think of one. Yeah, anything's fine with it.
But, I think this QR code, I think it's
you got anything with your shoes off?
but I could see me, after a couple of bourbons, some fifth string scores a touchdown to cover, and I shoot him a 20 spot.
Or
just
my
thank
age,
you.
My age, I don't have my glasses on. I think I'm sending him 10. I'm sending him a $100.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, that will 100% happen.
Oh, yeah.
100%. I mean, maybe not from the gambling angle, but there will be some of that. But kid makes a big play. Somebody's going to send him money.
I love Gundy saying this, shutting this down. It'll start again in December. Yeah. It really shouldn't be something that head coaches have to deal with. Once you have your NIL deal in place, then you really should go dark for the entirety of the season. And then if you want to renegotiate after the fact, renegotiate. Yeah. But we're going to see this too until they become employees. And I hate to use Ollie Gordon. We'll just say a starting running back has a breakout season and they've already lost 3 or 4 games. That running back's going to be like, pay me or I'm shutting it down.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
again,
I heard some stories last year before a rivalry game that
maybe a guy in the SEC that's now in the Big Ten.
Yeah, some guy maybe had a hamstring that was bothering him. I need a little extra cash.
Let me just say,
a rivalry.
I know people are apprehensive about contracts. That will end a lot of that. You don't play, you don't get paid in that contract. And by the way, we've got you under contract for 2 more years. So you quit playing right now, the money stops.
Okay, one more thing to tell you about. After LT tells us about New York Butcher Shop and we roll to the final hour of the show, tell us about New York Butcher.
Hey, look, everything Jim does there, just absolutely fantastic. Stop in, though. If you want some of those smash burgers, he'll go on and have them balled up for you, seasoned, ready to roll. All you got to do is smash it out on the Blackstone. Stop by, pick up the finest and certified Angus prime beef steaks, premium pork chops, ribs, all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Chef-prepared entrees and side dishes. Perfect dinner-to-go choice for you and your family, ready to heat at home with a great selection of fine wines and desserts. New York Butcher Shop, one-stop dinner shop, 2 locations, Cabo Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well done service.
Yeah, it's as good as going to second base, if I can awkwardly say that. It's New York Butcher
not
Shop.
awkward anymore.
Yeah. If I can get Lunceford's microphone for the second part of this. The first one is the new deputy on Fansville is Quinn Ewers.
Boz is still the sheriff, right?
Yeah, Boz
Okay.
is the sheriff. Quinn Ewers is the deputy.
Mm-hmm.
They say they've asked him to do more acting than they did Bryce Young and DJ Uyunglele.
So he's got a skill set.
Yeah.
He went that way.
And it's ironic that the sheriff is the Oklahoma guy and Quinn Ewers, the
I
deputy,
noticed.
is Texas.
A
So
lot
they
of-
have a little fun with that
Yeah.
in Fansville, the commercials this
The
year.
Boz is maybe the best sheriff of all time.
Yeah, you love him.
And then for Lunceford here, Seamus, I think I'm saying this right, the wrestler is the game day picker over in Dublin this weekend for the first game day. How popular is Seamus?
Not really much anymore.
But he's Irish, apparently.
He is
right?
Irish, yes.
Yeah.
You can look at him. He's very pale and red
Yeah.
hair and all that. Yeah, he fits the
What
mold.
about Colin Farrell?
That would have been a lot bigger person to get.
Probably lives in L.A., not in Ireland.
May have gone them first and said no or something, but
Yeah, I can't imagine that's their first pick, but I guess it is kind of a not great game.
I,
so
I
don't know.
do think you're limited to Irish people that actually live in Ireland. I mean, you're not going to fly Colin Farrell from L.A. to
To be
Ireland.
fair, Seamus is on the road 360 days a year, so I don't really know where he lives.
We've got a
Never
picture
heard
up.
of this guy, never
we got a
seen
picture up of College Game Day promoting it yesterday. It looks like he dyes his hair. It's dyed red.
Like he's playing into the character.
It's like he's playing into
probably.
Yeah, he's
his name is really Tony. He's from Cleveland.
He's from Tullahoma, Tennessee. But
That's
he
what,
acts
back to the
Irish.
Tulsa King. There's this biker gang that's in the first season, and the leader of the biker gang's got this terrible Irish accent. And I was like, I've got to find out where this guy's from. He's got to be from like Springfield, Missouri. And I pulled him up, and he's actually from London.
Yeah.
But I'm like, he is doing a terrible Irish accent.
Yeah, I think Lunceford was one of the first people to tell me that the British actors in Walking Dead, they were all British actors. Some of the
Andrew Lincoln, most of them were.
Yeah, they do American accents better than Americans do sometimes. Can't even tell.
Oh,
they're
you
British.
can't. You cannot.
All right, top of the hour. We will roll into more college football coming up. A game day with Nick Saban and all of them rolling in. No Corso, as you heard Reese Davis tell us last week. No Corso on the trip this weekend to Dublin. He'll be there for the first full weekend of college football in College Station, but you will get a heavy dose of Nick Saban in College Game Day this week with Reese and the gang as they get ready for Florida State, Georgia Tech game day. And then that game kicks at 11 o'clock Central. You can get our college football worksheet right now at Next Round Live. We're back in a moment.
Everything Alabama, all the time. Subscribe and set alerts at Roll Tide Pods on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
Are you tired of buying your CPAP mask and supplies online only to be disappointed? It's time to visit CPAP Plus, your locally owned and operated CPAP shop that prides itself on personal service. Come see what you're buying at CPAP Plus with 3 convenient locations in Pelham, Highway 280, and now open in Trustful. Drop by for a free CPAP checkup and free filters, no appointment needed. Plus, sign up for their giveaway for a chance to win a free travel CPAP machine. Just Google CPAP Plus or visit any of those 3 locations.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
When on YouTube, you constantly hear requests to please like and subscribe. Well, here at Disrupt Media, we aren't going to play that game. Those demands are frankly outdated. So we just want you to hit like or subscribe. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. Pick a path, hit like, or hit subscribe. It's your call. We don't care which, just pick one. Or go to Roll Tide Pods and do it. Or War Damn Pods. Or the Disrupt Media YouTube channel. Or the Meltdown. Just make a decision and stick with it. Like or subscribe, the choice is yours.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
By the way, we're not going to play it, but Lane Kiffin doesn't connect all the dots sometimes. Coca-Cola, big sponsor of Ole Miss athletics. That Coca-Cola bottle sits up there on that podium every day for his news conference. And yesterday he picks it up and says, who drinks this? And started into sugar count. I would really point out to Lane he should use his whole playbook. I enjoy the nice Coca-Cola zero sugar.
Do we have that sound?
Yeah, we do, but we're not going to play it.
No, I don't want him besmirching the great name of
No,
Coca-Cola.
I can't believe he would do that.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, it's a delicious, incredible product.
Of course.
You do have to know you got to be a little aware of your brands, right?
I mean, I don't know if it's, I don't know all the Bill of Rights, but is it one of the 10 Bill of Rights? Coca-Cola is a great American product.
It is a great American product.
I drank a 20-ouncer last night.
I think, Jennifer asked me this. We had a random discussion about
But
Lane
I
Kiffin.
can't do the diet
No.
or the zero. I just, the old school formula,
Hey.
even at my age, I keep pushing it.
That's
Love
why,
it.
That's why they got a bunch of different flavors.
That's right.
One for everybody.
And they got water, too.
That's right.
They got Powerade.
Yep. So Jennifer and I had this discussion. We were on the road when we went to our mountain trip a couple weekends ago. We were on the road, and I pull into a service station to get a bag of ice, and I was going to get a nice cold fountain Diet Coke. And very few things crush my soul like the minute you put that under there and the Diet Coke is out and it's just soda water or whatever. Right? I'm like,
Don't go to the Lee Branch theaters.
Did you have a good trip to that? Or?
I mean, look,
Like
I'm
the
just
movie?
saying they're always out of everything.
And Jennifer, I got back in the car and she goes, "You didn't get your drink?" And I said, it was out. She goes, "You didn't tell him?" I was like, I didn't really want to sit and wait on him to change it.
No, Jim will be by here in a second. He'll tell him.
No, I was like, 100% they're going to find out. I said, Diet Coke is the most consumed product on the planet. And she goes, "Oh, is that true?" And so we started discussing, it's got to be Coca-Cola, like Coke Classic, right? That's got to be number one.
It is, yes.
But it depends on the market. Now, Diet Coke has taken some markets
I would say
over.
Diet Coke is probably number 2, though, in the world.
Sprite is when you're talking about the Coca-Cola family, Sprite in some markets is number 1.
Yes.
Yeah. And Dr. Pepper passed Pepsi. We did that story.
Yeah, I saw that.
Here on the show. What in this? I was on my way to Lunceford's for poker. I've said that 3 times now.
Did you play poker last night?
I did.
Yeah.
But I swung by a very popular fast food chain, 2 of them, and we have. And I told them this when I got there. When you're number 1 in something and the best drive-through ever invented by humankind,
correct?
I don't understand why we changed it all. So I went to one that doesn't have a drive-through. I went in there and wasn't really going as fast. I needed to get there. So I left and went closer to Lunceford's house. So I get there, and it's a pretty hefty line in the drive-through and the mobile pickup. So I jump out. I'm going to go in. And I walk in, and it's like I'm on Battlestar Galactica in the future. I walk in, it is empty except for one cash register and one girl standing behind their cash register. And there's not like a sea of cash registers like the one here by my house. It's just one cash register, a lot of bare wall. I mean, nice bricks, but it's very empty-ish in there. Very, it's almost like I'm in a doctor's office, a science lab or something. And I walk in, and she's like, "Can I help you?" And I was like,
"Oh, human!"
Yeah, I just wanted a number one and a Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Any sauces? Nope. Number one Diet Coke. Simple. Boom, boom, boom. And literally, it was almost like she had to dust off the. Nobody walks into these places anymore.
And she turned it around and it had custom tip already on there.
And then I where do I stand? Because there's nothing in there. And so I stand over there and I'm waiting. And I promise you, used to be, it would be like I'd barely stand back, grab my straw and my napkin, and it'd be going into my face. I waited and waited and waited until I think everyone in the drive-through and the mobile pickup line was done, and then they brought me my number one.
You made the bad choice there, didn't you? Should have stayed in line.
Should have stayed in
that line dialed in. It's generally the best choice.
Yeah,
Unless you got to pee.
I'm amazed at some of the things that we changed in the world. It's my old man moment of the day.
Well,
last
no,
night.
I
rolled in the poker. I was like, what are we doing?
I don't like the self-checkout. I've said it before.
I did that yesterday, too.
If you want to give me a discount on the groceries I'm buying based on the fact that you want to drop your manpower hours, then we can deal with that.
I did that yesterday, too. I wanted a turkey sandwich. So I ran by the place that's not my main go-to, but it's closer to my house. And I ran by there, and I got him to shave me off some turkey. And I got me a nice heirloom tomato, and
loaf of bread,
and a loaf of Wonder Bread. And I ran by. The checkout was self-checkout was there's a lady standing there, but she's going to watch me check out. And I went on and told her, I said, "You might as well come over here because I'm good with the turkey and I'm good with the bread, but I don't know how in the hell to do this tomato. I've got to weigh it or something."
Yeah.
I said, you don't have to come do it for me. I played the old card. I said,
I don't know.
Yeah, this tomato. I don't know about this tomato right here. So. Self-checkout, I'm not with you either. I like it when we can walk in and say hi to somebody.
A little human interaction.
Yeah, and somebody said, "Hey, you're the guy who used to do the weather."
Yeah. Fox 6. I love you on Fox 6. Speaking of Fox 6, real quick after that, I got something from Hardison. Hardison shared some breaking news with us.
Okay, breaking? Or can I do Champy's Chicken first?
I mean, it's like breaking in our world. Okay. So, yes, go ahead and do
Champy's Chicken, champy'schicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Sterling and the crew. Hosted a whole weekend of Goose, apparently. Goose and Jake down there. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
That will not end.
Always open at champy'schicken.com. They're open right now for lunch. It's a destination location. Goose raved about the food, and he said it was 100% what we always talk about. It's because Sterling works so hard on it. He brines that chicken overnight. Cooks it piping hot to order. It's not sitting under some lamp. He cooks it to order right there. It is Champy's Chicken. Developing news.
According to frontofficesports.com, Jonathan Hardison of Fox 6 shares this with us because we were just discussing it yesterday. YouTube this year will offer you the ability to customize your quad box or your tri box or your double box on Sunday Ticket. So if you've been a Sunday Ticket customer,
Sunday Ticket, not college football.
Sunday Ticket. It's something that should have been done already.
Well, it was not done year one. If you had Sunday Ticket year one of the developments was they offered you quad boxes,
but they
sometimes three boxes, but it was always the set games. Like they picked the games. You didn't get to pick the games. Now you can customize it. And it always seemed like there were some weeks they had it dialed in. But then some weeks I'm like, I don't really care anything about that fourth game.
Always that one game.
That's right.
I want this game, not that game.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But now you can customize it.
Plus, I get tired of trying to. It's like putting a puzzle together for me. I'm like, okay, I do like that one. Oh, I don't like that one. So I go to the next one. And like,
you know what I wish you could do?
No, I don't like that one.
I wish you could go on, and maybe you can. I wish you could go on and do it after that late Saturday game ends at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'd like to be and go on and have everything ready to go for Sunday.
Have it set for Sunday morning. Yep. Yeah. Now, the problem you'll run into if you've never experienced this with Sunday Ticket and this customizable quad box is they cannot, by rule, offer you the game in the quad box that is on your local market.
That's right.
So, in other words, if Dolphins Patriots is on CBS and Falcons Saints is on Fox, that cannot be part of your quad box. They can't do it.
Yeah.
Like, they're not just being mean to you. The NFL will not allow them to do it. You have to watch that on
I thought you could
CBS
in the quad
Fox.
box.
I don't think you can.
Yeah.
I think it's only the ones that are available on Sunday Ticket. And the local games are not available on Sunday Ticket.
I thought they were in the quad box.
I don't think so. Because I think I ran into that last year. Like I wanted to build a quad box.
Well, I'm not going to doubt you because my team, I'm not even going to get it this year. I say this every year, but I'm not going to get it this year.
I've already paid for it. You're not getting Sunday Ticket.
Well,
you know, somebody asked me the other day,
it's already probably run on my card.
Let me look at my card statement and see what I paid. Do you know what Sunday Ticket costs now?
I don't. I would say it's $249.
I saw something floating around last night about $479.
I think I got a deal because I did the early renewal and I paid for the whole year. Are you a YouTube TV customer? You get it cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, you both are YouTube TV. You get it cheaper than I do.
Oh, yeah, DirecTV is like $479 or Apple TV is like $479.
I just assumed it would renew automatically.
Yeah.
Of course, I assumed that every year. One year I got burned and was on the phone with them. And
I bet that went well.
Yeah. No. I think it renews automatically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. It hit my credit card though because I got the alert and that kind of got me excited, honestly. But I'm not going to find it now.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm going. That's what I'm going to end up doing. I'm gonna. Don't tell Maggie if you're working or listening and you're friends with Maggie. Don't tell her I'm going to forget that I had to turn that off, and I'm going to let that click.
I can't find it now, but I was going to tell you I did the
money,
math.
LT? Whose money is it?
Oh, it's your money.
Yeah.
I did the math, and it's only like I think it was $24 a week.
You send the girl to Duke, and you can't even watch the Bucks on a Sunday afternoon.
$24 a week is well worth it, right?
Oh, that's still.
I mean, that's a great price for
Best
entertainment.
Value in all of sport. If you go to one game. If you go up to a Titans game, a Saints game, a Falcons game, what are you going to be spending?
More than $24.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you'll spend what you would spend on Sunday Ticket for the entire year.
Yeah. I mean, you spend more than for half the season with parking.
I have redone, my whole television situation at the house. And just sitting back watching the quality of broadcast now, like, you really can't beat it. And again, we are talking like a bunch of ancient dudes today.
Know.
But I even think the 20-somethings can see this. Like, I don't know where Tyler went. I was going to ask Tyler, would he rather be at a game?
He's back there at Lunceford.
You think Tyler would rather go to a game and watch a game on a 75-inch TV?
Tyler, would you rather go to a game or watch it on a 75-inch television, football?
Usually just watch it on TV. I can have my assortment of snacks or whatever and drinks and
people you want to be around, your AC, climate control, bathroom.
Can I just ask why you chose Tyler and not Forrester?
No traffic.
Because Tyler's a little bit younger, and Forrester's been to 1 million games in his day, and he sees it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
I wasn't picking on Tyler.
Yeah, and you ask Rockstar, and Rockstar would say,
Rockstar's older than
rather
Tyler.
sleep.
Absolutely.
Again, I think Tyler's in his mid-20s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tyler's like, Rockstar's like, I'd rather sleep.
No, but like when I was in my mid-20s, I loved, I was just thinking of this random thought. I had a buddy that played professional baseball for the New Orleans Zephyrs. So I went to see him, but it was game 2, I think, of the NBA Finals, Lakers and Nets. And so he was living in kind of an apartment out on the outskirts of New Orleans. And I remember going to a sports bar. He went to his game. I remember going to a sports bar like 6 o'clock, posting up until he was done with the game and came back at like 11 o'clock, and just being excited just to sit there for 5 hours just by myself. So I think in your 20s, you do all kinds of random things. And I think more people would rather be at a game, right?
I do like going to the college football games. I like being at home on Sundays. And Troy, I agree with you. I enjoy watching the Red Zone every game. But I was told by my sidekicks here, my friends, my colleagues, that I'm not a true fan if I don't watch all of my Bucks games.
I wouldn't say you're not a true fan. I just don't know how you watch Red Zone instead of watching your team when your team's playing. Like if the Dolphins
I will
aren't playing,
stick with that. I mean, you're not a diehard fan.
If the Dolphins aren't playing in the early window, Red Zone is fun, especially at the end of the early window. Red Zone's unbeatable. And I think those of you who have never experienced Scott Hansen, he's the only guy now, right? The Siciliano guy doesn't do it anymore. Scott Hansen's the GOAT in Red Zone, and it is highly entertaining as the early window comes to a close. But if the Dolphins are on, I'm just going to watch the Dolphins.
By the way, a ton of baseball news, but this off the field, this is the most amazing story. Alex Verdugo, am I saying his name right? Verdugo used to be with the Red Sox, now with the Yankees.
Was with the Dodgers too.
With the Dodgers, he is suffering an allergic reaction to cobalt and chromate.
Okay.
Cobalt and chromate.
Where'd you get this?
Here's the problem. Cobalt and chromate are used in the production of batting gloves. And when you get a tattoo, here's a picture of Alex Verdugo.
I'm going to guess he's got a lot of tats.
He uses a batting glove for work.
Right, yeah, every day.
And he has got sleeves on his arm. And he has developed an allergic reaction to cobalt and chromate. And he, for the last 3 years, has been battling what he says is extremely dry skin on his hands and blisters that end up popping and then scabbing over.
Yeah.
He has gone from a 290 hitter to where now he's only hitting 230 and 10 home runs. It's impacting his work.
Well, could I just say, maybe don't use batting gloves?
And what are you going to do about the tattoos that are permanently on your body?
That was a choice you've already made that is undoable right now. But the batting gloves you could do with that. I mean, I can't remember. Moises Alou just, he did it and he peed on his hands to make them blister up or whatever.
I don't use golf gloves when I play.
I do not either. I've never used a golf glove.
Do majority of people use golf gloves?
Yeah.
The only time I would ever use one when I would play is just because of the sweat.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. And my palms don't sweat, so I've never had a need for golf gloves. My palms don't sweat.
Mine don't either, but occasionally I'm sweating so much that I'll get a little moisture in my hands.
Yeah, in the heat of the summer, I have to wipe my the backs of my wrist and my forearms and my hands off occasionally just to keep the sweat from getting on my hands, but my hands themselves never sweat, so I've just never needed golf gloves.
I go straight mud puddle. I pour a little of the sand out of my hands.
I've seen you do it.
And rub it on my hands to dry it up a bit.
Dunaway gets the old divot, the sand thing in the divot, and he'll pick it in there, and he's doing like LeBron down there.
And then I roll one 5 feet. So that's Verdugo who's having to do that. One more thing before trash here. Brought to you by the Lock of the Day, Hemp Hill Services, lanceslock.com, lanceslock.com.
Yeah, winning night last night, Major League Baseball. More Major League Baseball plays up right now. Go to the new website, lanceslock.com. We've got preseason football week 0 coming up. Jump on board. Win with us at lanceslock.com. Always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train, 205-229-2090.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about Alabama recruiting first, but Forster, do you have the average cost of life thing I sent you from last night? Okay, get that ready here because first, Killen Deere is expected to commit today to either Alabama or staying with Ole Miss. Do we have a time from the covercrimson.com guys?
Yeah, I checked on with Stacy Blackwood and Clint at Cover Crimson. Stacy said they knew this was early in the show. It's going to be after school. Clint said he thinks it'll be closer to this evening, like 5 to 6.
Yeah, so.
But there's no concrete timetable. So covercrimson.com is where you want to go, and they'll have it all covered for you. And the reaction, that's the key, is once the commitment's done, especially if he goes to Alabama, they'll have a reaction video up just telling you kind of what Alabama's getting.
Oh, and I saw the sexy, scandalous story.
Is it up?
It's not up yet. They're sourcing everything. I mean, it's pretty much sourced out. Just figuring out a way to package this and put it out.
Yeah, go sign up there at covercrimson.com and also the Auburn version, the barnauburn.com, where the sites are getting rave reviews. The average U.S. cost of life, this was put out
expensive.
yesterday. Yeah.
Not cheap.
For the average American, the entirety of their life, $2.845 million to have an average life in the United States, broken down by Jeff Rose. $33,900 is the average cost for a wedding.
Our wedding was nowhere close to that. I don't know. I don't know what people are spending on weddings.
Yeah. Right now, a very popular thing because Maggie does weddings.
I should probably check my father-in-law before I say that, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
The popular thing right now is a monogrammed, almost like a Final Four dance floor at your venue.
Oh, there's no telling what that is.
That is specifically made for you with a monogram on it or a picture.
Where are you going to put it in the garage?
I don't know afterwards, but
the Final Four team puts in their practice gym. I don't know.
$392,000 average cost of the home. $350,000 worth of cars. $310,000 of raising 2 kids. And these are averages.
That's low.
Yeah, these are averages. $35,000 for colleges. Come on, that's way low.
That feels low. Yeah.
Yeah. $735,000 for retirement, $9,000 for funeral.
That's somebody else's problem, not mine.
I see. This is why when the first time I had to.
You say that we just smoked Chuck.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
What did that cost?
It was maybe like $300.
Yeah.
It was cheap.
Yeah,
I told him he was going out like that. He was cool with it.
Yeah, no, I've made that decision strictly because the first time I had to be involved with paying for one of those, I was like, are we kidding me? And I went home and told Maggie, yes, because my grandmother had bought me a lot.
Yeah.
And I said, we're selling that. We're giving that to another family member. I am cremated. Who else is in with me?
I had lunch with Leighton downtown yesterday, and I told her, I was like, when I kick it, that's why I work. Like, I want to have nice things in life, but I want you guys to get something out of it.
Yeah, and don't spend it on my funeral unless Taylor Swift or the Killers want to come sing a song. Or who's the guy that sings up on that mountain?
Go rest down the mountain, Vince Gill?
Oh, my gosh. That'll bring you to tears.
Rockstar, the guy that sings up on that mountain.
Yeah, there's 20 of them. There's matchboxes of them.
Okay. The food thing, how is that only $479,520?
They don't go out and eat as much as we do.
Yeah. Healthcare, $315,000. Vacations, $200,000 in the average life, and $153,000 on home maintenance. That's the average American.
Okay, but if I asked you guys right
million.
now, if I stroked you a check for 2.8, could you make it to? Do you take
To
it to
the finish
house?
line?
Yeah.
I'd get close, I think, but boy,
I think I would try it.
Well,
I wouldn't feel great about it.
You could pay your house off out of that, and that certainly reduces a major monthly expenditure. Like I don't know about you, but my mortgage is the biggest. That's the biggest thing I stroke each month.
Yeah.
I mean, do y'all write a big check?
Mine's close. We got a couple of things, but
yeah, I would tell you
right there.
I would tell you my problem would then become food because I'd be like, Lunceford, Forrester, Rockstar, guys, let's go to lunch. It's on me.
It's on me,
man.
I got $2.8 million.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like,
go in a new building.
how
Let's go get a new building for us.
Do you live? I guess we could ask Keith over in the chat. How differently do you live once you shut it down and retire? Because you only got so much at that point, right?
Yeah. Well,
but I think I would try to get it to the finish line at 2.8.
$735,000 of that's retirement. If you give me the 2.8, I guess I quit paying my retirement, right? I don't pay into my retirement anymore. I've got it now at 2.8, so that does eliminate some of that.
Keith
That's another big monthly bill.
Keith says, when I retired, I told my kids that my last check's going to bounce.
Now, here's the thing on 2.8 right now. I can guarantee you a 5% return right now. So if you just took $2 million and put it in the bank, I mean, right there, you're making $100,000 just on that a year.
See, I'm going to need that.
And then
when I win the lottery, I'm going to need you.
And then if you max out on if you took a penalty right now, I think you probably get $3,500 in Social Security. So, I mean, do you guys?
That's a good guess. I got my sheet the other day.
Yeah.
So $3,499. You're almost spot on.
Do you think you could make it on $11,000 a month right now? That would be the question.
Yeah, that's your question.
I think I could. Do
you have a will? You have a living will?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people do not, and that is a
I
big
do, but I've got to
mistake.
update mine. I don't even know what it says now.
I never told you, but I can tell you now because both my kids are over the age of 18. But you and Jennifer were going to raise my kids.
Where are we now?
Yeah.
That was going to be a surprise to us.
You'd have been. What did Jim leave you? His kids.
His kids. And they come with how much money? Less than you would think.
Not as much as you think, Brownie. You worked with him. He bought a lot of lunches. All right. When we come back, we'll get to trash today. So if you're spending a lot of money, there's $2.8 million, the average cost for your entire life in the United States of America. And trust me, prices aren't going back down. That number is only going to go up. We're back in a moment right here on TNR.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the Bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
If renting is putting a dent in your bank account, here's your sign from the universe that it's time to buy a new home. And who better to help you through the ins and outs of home buying than our friends at Mortgage Right. With Mortgage Right, you don't have to worry about becoming a short notice mortgage expert because they do all the heavy lifting for you. They're trusted mortgage professionals, and they'll help you choose the right mortgage option and stand by your side every step of the way. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to buy before renting runs you dry. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you tired of buying your CPAP mask and supplies online only to be disappointed? It's time to visit CPAP Plus, your locally owned and operated CPAP shop that prides itself on personal service. Come see what you're buying at CPAP Plus with 3 convenient locations in Pelham, Highway 280, and now open in Trustful. Drop by for a free CPAP checkup and free filters, no appointment needed. Plus, sign up for their giveaway for a chance to win a free travel CPAP machine. Just Google CPAP Plus or visit any of those 3 locations.
Hang out with the Next Round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out the Next Round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Alabama announced yesterday they're going to play an exhibition game back up at Von Braun, where we enjoyed the Auburn-UNC Asheville game last year. Alabama and Memphis, October 28th. That's a Monday night. If you want to see 2 potential NCAA tournament teams square off in an exhibition game for charity, tickets go on sale 10 a.m. Friday. 10 a.m. Friday, this Friday. The game is October 28th. That is a Monday night, so it will not impact your college football. Back at the Rocket City Classic at Von Braun.
I do think, if I have looked at the schedule properly and if what I'm told is accurate, that will be your first chance to actually see that roster out on the court. I think there might be an open inter-squad practice prior to that, but against an actual opponent, which I don't know about you guys, I would say this is probably the most anticipated roster in Alabama basketball history.
Yep.
Yeah.
This will be your first chance to see them actually play someone.
Yeah. People are asking questions over there that we cannot answer about triple boxes.
They have yet to make that determination. I was in a conversation about that yesterday. It is a possibility.
Yeah, we could be in the mix.
Could be in the mix. Never know.
As long as we get to interview the director of current affairs for whatever town that is.
What happened to the Rocket? Why did it fall?
I promise you, though, Alabama fans will have to suffer just as much as the Auburn fans.
That's right. We'll make certain of that.
Yeah, we'll try to be equal there if that happens. Don't forget, Guarantee Show coming up Friday from the Floribama. We'll be down there on Friday for our normal show, 9 to 12. 3 bowl predictions, guaranteed Friday. We do it every year. That is coming up this Friday, 9 to 12. This show being brought to you by Dr. B. Big hair guy right here, Dr. B.
Dr. B working on me and Brown. Again, when we started this venture over 3 years ago, I noticed that I was thinning out. I asked around. Dr. Beckenstein is the name everyone mentioned. So I called Dr. B and his great staff, 205-319-0316, scheduled that consultation, went in. I've been doing a non-invasive treatment 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time on the couch. That is it. My hair has more than doubled in thickness. Dr. B takes pride in treating each patient personally, applying his expertise to produce quality results for more than 20 years. Women and men have turned to Dr. B for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. Call today, 205-319-0316 or t3hair.net.
All right, Brett McMurphy, Action Network, has not only put out his bowl projections, he has put out his 12-team playoffs and plays it out to a national title. Forrester sent this to me last night. Group of 5 team, before you show it, group of 5 team that makes the playoffs, according to Brett
I'll say
Murphy.
Brett goes Memphis.
Memphis, that's where I went.
I would say he goes Boise.
Boise, that's
Or-
where a lot of people went.
Or Liberty.
Nope, no Liberty. He went with, I don't even know the name of them. Are they the Wildcats?
Texas State.
Texas State.
They're building a little steam right now.
Bobcats, right?
Bobcats, that's it. Yeah.
Wow, Texas State.
TJ Finley.
Yeah, no, TJ.
Is TJ gone?
I said the same thing. I said, TJ Finley, former Auburn LSU quarterback. TJ Finley plays in Bryant-Denny week 1 as the Western Kentucky quarterback.
Of course he does. That's only his 10th team. They're big out of conference is Arizona State, and they host it.
Yeah, they could beat Arizona
By the
State.
way, they host it.
By the way,
that
they
game will be
host
around
it.
the pick.
Yeah, they host Arizona
So
State.
they don't get by Ohio State in that 5-12 game?
They don't. But just for those that can't see it on the audio version, Brett McMurphy, Action Network, has Oregon as the number 1 overall seed, as the champion of the Big Ten. He has Alabama as the SEC champs, as the number 2 seed. He has Miami as the ACC champs, and Utah as the Big 12 champs, all getting buys. Ohio State is what a talented roster to be at 5.
He likes some wild card teams I like, too.
Yeah, his number 6 seed is Georgia. Number 7 is Ole Miss. Number 8, LSU, a team you like a lot. Number 9, sliding in there, Penn State. Number 10,
Hokie High.
Virginia Tech. Haven't seen them in a playoff. Iowa's 11. You've been talking them up, LT. And then there's Texas
it's
State.
schedule-wise. Iowa's not good enough to be 11. Georgia would work them. In that
Okay,
6-11
so
game.
of those, and I know we can do this in several different exercises and different ways to actually do this. Many ways to skin a cat, right?
Right.
Of those fan bases, though, how many take exactly what Brett McMurphy's got? Like Penn State, getting to a college football playoff and winning a game, they'd love it.
Okay,
I think LSU.
We'll go left to right. So Penn State, LSU,
everybody
both
happy.
are cool.
Both of them.
Yep.
Texas State,
Over the
ecstatic.
moon.
Yes.
Ohio State going to the semifinals. I don't think that's enough.
But they probably beat Michigan right there. So they've beaten Michigan.
Still not enough.
I would imagine in Brett's scenario, maybe
they win 2 games.
Maybe they beat Oregon in the regular season, and Oregon beat them in the championship
I don't know how
game.
Oregon's number 1 if they're number 5.
Well, because Oregon would have won the championship. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Maybe.
But getting to the semifinals and then losing to Oregon, maybe for the second time in the year.
Yeah, I don't think they'd like that.
They wouldn't be happy.
No,
Iowa would be tickled.
Yep.
Georgia,
they wouldn't be happy with a 6 seed.
No,
but I mean, playing for the national championship, Georgia would take that.
Yeah, and for those that are watching or listening, he has Oregon beating Georgia for the national championship.
Miami would obviously take that, the 3 seed.
Yep.
Virginia Tech would take it. Ole Miss would take it.
Yep.
I think everybody would be happy with that.
Yeah, Alabama would take it as SEC champs.
I think the only team that would not take that is Ohio State, going to a semifinal and winning 2 games.
Yep. I agree with you. That's Brett McMurphy Action Network. You can see the rest of his bowl projections, including Auburn, by going and checking him out online there. It's time for Trash. That's the big button. It's brought to you by Mortgage Right. Rockstar has his finger on the button all the time.
Another time I was watching a TikTok about Beyonce and someone in the comments said, "When's her birthday? Google it! Google it, Google it, Google it, Google it, Google it. Google is free, Google it." What the asking us for? By the time someone responded to you, you could have been Googled it.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
And our trash, yes, brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right. Whether you're buying your first home, your final home, whether you need a huge down payment or no money down, our friends at Mortgage Right here to help. MortgageRight.com/TNR 205-900-7200 NMLS 2239 Equal Housing Lender. Dunaway came across this one. Russian chess players facing possible jail time and criminal charges after she allegedly used liquid mercury from a broken thermometer to poison a rival player during a large tournament earlier this week.
That is next level right there.
As reported by chess.com, because we all go to this, right?
Can you imagine the caller calling Feinbaum? I'm telling you, Paul, I put poison on those chess pieces.
It'll be dead in a month.
I was talking to Maddie about that, and she was like, yes, even in California, people were talking about.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Because his name got brought up, and she was like, who was that? And I explained, she was like, I remember when that went down.
It was on NBC Nightly News. I remember seeing like Lester Holt, radio caller in Alabama.
Yeah.
Well, it's just, from afar, we look at LA and we're like, those people are crazy.
Yeah.
And then they look to us when they hear a story about poisoning
really?
trees, and they're like, they're really crazy.
Over what?
So, as reported by chess.com, 40-year-old chess coach Amina Aprikova has been accused of poisoning 30-year-old player Uma Osmanova during a Dagestan Chess Championship on August 2nd. About 30 minutes into playing in the tournament, Osmanova alerted officials she was feeling sick, complaining of nausea and dizziness. Doctors were called, and they deduced that she had likely been poisoned. Officials checked security footage and discovered that Aprakova allegedly poisoning Osmanova's chessboard.
Yeah, she broke a thermometer, got the mercury out of a thermometer.
That'll get you sick.
Old school glass, and then spread it on
chess pieces.
Her pieces, her chess pieces, not the person doing the poisoning, the other person, her competitor, her rival's chess pieces, and on her side of the board.
That's pretty crazy.
She is currently being held by police, faces up to 3 years of jail time. The Russian Chess Federation has gotten involved. They have temporarily banned the pro from future chess events as it investigates the situation. It is reported she could receive a lifetime ban.
I think that's appropriate.
Yeah, probably.
I never learned to play chess.
I actually got pretty good at it.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and my older brother used to play when we were kids a lot.
It's a little slow for me, but
I like it.
It's a cerebral game.
I'm supposed to think about it more. I moved too quickly.
When I was living at the Red Mount, they had the board games they bring out. And so we would play chess every now and then up top. But that was the last time I played, so it's probably been like 8 years.
Yeah. I
but
remember
it's fun.
You got to go on the little horsey thing.
The knight.
Yeah.
Jim, I didn't know you were a pro, man. Just shut up. You don't have to rub it in my face.
And the castles are just straight.
What's the pawn do?
The pawn is one at a time, except in the first move it goes twice. And that bishop, he's a sidewinder.
He can go anywhere he wants.
So the synthetics in Alien named after chess pieces.
Really?
Bishop, rook, yeah. Pennsylvania groundhog making a name for himself for something other than predicting an early or late spring. Groundhog dubbed Colonel Custard was found stowed away with a passel of stuffed animals prizes in an arcade game 2 weeks ago. Can you imagine seeing this with a claw? I love the plush University of Pittsburgh basketball.
I just realized what we're looking at. So that's a real groundhog in one of the claw machines?
It looks mean as hell, too.
Do you keep it if your kid wins it?
Yeah. All right.
Now, players were maneuvering a mechanical claw to pluck toys from the glass game case when they suddenly realized a real live groundhog was blinking back at them. Now, the newly named Colonel was found in Hollidaysburg, a good hour's drive from Pennsylvania's far more famous groundhog town, Punxsutawney, home to the weather-predicting groundhog Phil. Now, the owners and staff at the Meadows Frozen Custard Shop aren't being shy about promoting their own furry friend. Staff and owners made T-shirts that read, "Respect the Groundhog," held the online naming campaign that drew an avalanche of responses, and are working on more promotional ideas, such as naming one of their frozen treat flavors of Colonel Custard. So basically, the owner, Lynn Castle, saying they have no idea how the groundhog got in the machine, but they actually put the groundhog in there. They had to.
Publicity stunt.
It's promotion.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen kids get stuck in it, though, Rockstar. And they'll climb
Promotion.
up. Yeah. Oh, it's a promotion, too. I want a kid.
Took a lot of people to set the varmint free. Employees first called the claw machine owners who were too skittish to take the Colonel on. Next came the police, who called the Pennsylvania Game Commission. Game wardens opened up the claw machine, released the groundhog into a nearby field. Went on to say, quote, "It's a good story that ended well. He got free. No one got bit."
I'll tell you, Hallie Brown's favorite thing about walk-ons is the claw machine. She loves them.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'll give her a 5.
You do know that those really are they don't favor the consumer.
I'm well aware of that, yes. She does not get
a North Texas woman.
Lincoln, Taylor's little guy, is he loved the Papa Shot the other night at walk-ons.
Oh, yeah. That's fun, too.
He kept dragging his family members back there, wanting more money.
Yeah, and they all say yes because Lincoln runs that family.
Lincoln runs it.
North Texas woman was sentenced to prison for 2 cases in which she stole over $1 million from her former employer and used the money to pay for trips. Now, TikTok coins, also a suite at the American Airlines Center for the Dallas Mavericks games. According to the district attorney's office, 39-year-old Stacy Blackman, Stacy with an I, of South Lake, pleaded guilty to 2 theft charges of over $300,000, was sentenced to 35 years for each.
Wow.
In prison. Prosecutor said in 2020, Blackman started embezzling funds from her deceased boss and high-end construction company in her hometown, amounting to $1.2 million over a few years. An arrest affidavit and search warrants obtained by NBC5. Blackman reportedly used most of the stolen money to buy and send TikTok coins, an in-app currency purchased with real money. The document stated that Blackman used the company credit card to send nearly $900,000 through PayPal to TikTok in 2022. Authorities and Blackman's job eventually discovered the theft when the senior partner's daughter reported to South Lake Police that hundreds of thousands of dollars were missing from the trust fund her father had left her. Now, the Attorney's District Office said during the investigation it was revealed that Blackman also spent money on a suite for the Mavericks, home furniture, and extravagant trips.
Can I turn TikTok coins back into cash?
I'm going to guess no.
Yeah?
I don't know what the exchange rate is.
Yeah. Try to pay your mortgage with those. How many TikTok coins?
How about this? Florida doctor facing disciplinary action after state official says his failure to wear hearing aids during a colonoscopy left a patient screaming in pain.
Oh, God.
Now, according to the Florida Department of Health, reviewed by USA Today, Dr. Ishwara Prasad was placed on probation by the state's Board of Medicine after 2 colonoscopy procedures went wrong under his care. In one instance, at the Tampa Surgery Center in June of 23, Prasad, quote, improperly delegated task to a surgical tech. The complaint reads, tech did not have a medical license, but was instructed by Prasad to perform at least one inappropriate task from a list that includes scope insertion, scope manipulation, manipulating an instrument over polyps or tissue, or removing polyps or tissue. Now, Prasad is hearing impaired and uses hearing aids in compliance with what the complaint calls the, quote, minimum prevailing professionals standard of care to hear him, or to allow him to hear and communicate during procedures. He was not wearing the hearing aids for at least, if not both of the procedures, which left him unable to effectively communicate.
He's not in the room by himself. So, I mean, like, why did someone else not step in and say, the guy is yelling?
Yeah.
He's hurt.
Because that guy was too busy doing the surgery of something he doesn't know what to do. Removing polyps. I think that's a polyp, I guess.
Looks like one.
Looks like a lima bean.
So here are millennials sharing the older person hills they will die on stories, and boomers may have a point about these.
Mine's not changing the way my drive-through works.
Okay.
First one, I hate downloading an app for every freaking thing. I'm not clogging up my phone just for one baseball game ticket. Email me a PDF of my ticket.
I'm kind of with them on that. Like, if it's an app I'm frequently going to use, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
The Next Round app, absolutely great.
How does your screen look? Like Maggie.
Most of my stuff is in folders. Some of it's just dangling around out
Maggie
there.
does folders. I have very few apps.
Okay.
I have 4 pages of apps. None of them are in folders.
So, but here's my thing. If I'm going to use it every day, I keep it outside of a folder. Like, here's my house alarm. Use it every day. This is my car. Use it every day. This is Waze. Use it every day. So the use every day stuff I keep outside a folder.
Be honest right now. Be honest right now, because Rockstar coming back from Dallas, Brown found out in the car he was 3rd on Waze points.
Yeah,
and he's a big Waze guy. But apparently,
I'm a Waze influencer.
Apparently, if you let people know you let Waze know there's a car on the side of the road, a pothole or something, you get points for doing that.
Which equals what?
And I don't.
Pride, right?
Well, can't you just make it up? Like, could I sit here and just say, hey, 65 pothole here?
I want to say there's traffic in Clear right now.
Sucks out of you guys.
I think you end up losing points if that's not true.
Yeah.
Brown found out that EG and Forrester had more points than him.
That's right.
So truth serum right now. Have you been using it a lot more trying to build up your points?
I use Waze every day, but I have started reporting more things to see if I can close the gap.
Yeah.
I always report police officers. I mean, give everybody a fighting chance. Let's make this a level playing field.
Here's
here.
another millennial sharing older person hills they will die on. New car headlights are just too damn bright.
In that mirror at night, there's somebody behind you. It looks like their brights are on. It's just natural lights.
I do agree with the next one. Not everything needs to be recorded, photographed, posted online, whether it's for good, like taking excessive vacation pictures, or for bad, like recording arguments between strangers.
Yeah, I don't like the recording but I like to have pictures of vacations, and I'm really thankful that EG sent a video of my favorite song from the Taylor Swift concert. She didn't have to do that, so I can save that. But I don't want you record an argument going on if you're not part of the argument.
I saw though this one guy on Broadway in Nashville get beat to an absolute pulp the other night. I couldn't stop but watch it. It was on TikTok. Couldn't help but stop and watch it.
So somebody recorded him getting the crap beat out of him.
To a pulp. Is that EG seats? Somebody said EG had great seats.
These are the seats. She's at a different side of the stage here. EG didn't move. Taylor Swift did. That's her singing Long Live My Tattoo song.
Now, keep in mind, the tickets are cheaper in England. That's why a lot of people are going over there. So that's at Wembley.
But that's
a good seat.
Yeah, that's a love song right there.
It's a good seat.
Yep.
Good job, EG.
Did you stream the whole concert?
No, she had to enjoy it. She couldn't
so
live
selfish.
stream it for me.
And finally, if I say something to you, I'd like an acknowledgement that you heard me.
I kind of agree with that. Yeah.
You responded to the text, Jay.
That's one of the great lines of all time.
I mean, you tell me not to, but I emoji back. I mean, it's just easier. I'm sorry I'm a guy, and I give you a heart back, but it just let you know I saw it. I just drop a heart back at you.
Finally, this one local, Rockstar. Jefferson County, Alabama.
Hello.
Howard College football coach Lane Kiffin, members of the Trump family, and VP candidate J.D. Vance connected.
None of them have ever been in my kitchen.
They are all named in a lawsuit filed by a Birmingham woman. Now, according to court documents obtained by ABC 3340, the woman, who is not being identified, filed the suit on Thursday in federal court. Among the defendants, Ole Miss football coach Lane Kiffin, candidate for Vice President J.D. Vance, along with Ivanka and Donald Trump Jr., the daughter and son of former President Donald Trump. Plaintiff is asking for 1 million gazillions in the suit for labor and pay that she claims was taken from her employer. For reference, gazillion is not a real number.
Yeah.
She also says she is owed houses, cars, gifts, and money.
Now, will she settle for a bazillion? Can we?
I bet I settle out of court. Yeah, you don't have to go to court.
Now,
on that.
much of the woman's narrative is not legible, but she addresses concerns that someone who has had access to her bank account stole money.
Yep.
Now, court records show the plaintiff is facing criminal charges in Jefferson County connected to criminal trespass and criminal mischief. She was arrested in May. Both cases remain active. There is no clear connection between her criminal charges and the lawsuit she has filed.
Lane Kiffin probably looked at this and went,
yeah, what's she look like?
Yes. She got a son that's good running back.
Was I in Birmingham? That is Trash, brought to you by Mortgage Right.
Yeah, our friends at Mortgage Right here to help, veteran-founded, locally owned right here in Birmingham. If you have any issues at all before you take the next steps on a new home purchase or refinance, talk with the team at Mortgage Right. No cost or obligation to find out what you qualify for. You can get more information calling 205-900-7200 or going to their website, mortgageright.com/TNR.
One of the longest streaks in college football is on the line this Saturday. We'll talk about 4 pretty amazing streaks and which one comes to the end first in our final segment of the show coming up. That's being brought to you by our friends at Champy's. Champy's world-famous fried chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Don't forget the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. They're so dang delicious right there. A little kick to them. A great way to start. They come in a 3-set. Start off with 3 of those for an appetizer. Get a little slaw with that. Comes on the plate. Then you go into your main meal, brined overnight, cooked order fried chicken, maybe some hand-cut chicken fingers, maybe chicken on a stick. Some great items there at Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Thursday night, Thompson football starts. So go by and see Sterling pregame. Or for all your tailgates all year long, it's Champy's Chicken.
Follow Rockstar on Twitter at RockstarBHM.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Hey, you. School's coming back. Time to gear up. And at New Balance Birmingham, we know what's up. Before hitting the books, check out the looks. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Bright Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Excitement awaits at Barber Motorsports Park for the Fanatec GT World Challenge America, September 6th through the 8th. It's a high-octane weekend you won't want to miss. Witness some of the most iconic sports cars like Lamborghini, McLaren, Porsche, and Ferrari battling it out on the track. Enjoy the beer gardens, kids zone, and don't forget to bring your dog for bark at the park on Saturday. The Fanatec GT World Challenge America, September 6th through the 8th. Kids 15 and under get in free. Get your tickets today.
Back with you on the next round as we roll on. Before Brownie tells us about our friends at A+, Brad Powers, who covers some wagering, says he doesn't believe in all the time in trends. But he says this week FCS Montana State, as LT pointed out yesterday, is a sizable favorite over FBS New Mexico.
Lay it.
FCS teams in small underdog and favorite role actually do quite well historically. 65% against the spread, he says. A number you probably have seen. Huh?
That's a strong number right there.
Strong number, 65%.
I had not seen that, but look, when you get an FCS that is a double-digit favorite on the road in an FBS,
you just never see that.
That shows you there is a talent discrepancy right there.
So he even says small underdog and in favorite role, 65% against the spread. Where does that lean you on Thursday night, North Dakota State, Colorado? Not an official play, but are we starting to think?
You know, I faded Colorado for the majority of last season. It probably starts that same way.
Back to that first game you mentioned, do you guys know who the head coach of New Mexico is? Had to look it up.
Yeah, actually.
It's a name you know.
Yeah, it's
he is a former. It's no longer the former Notre Dame coach.
It is not.
No, give me
Bob Davie.
Give me the initials.
BM.
Brandon Marcello.
No. Bronco Mendenhall.
Oh, yeah.
Former BYU and Virginia coach in his first year there.
Never know why he left BYU.
Yeah.
Yep.
A+, and then these 4 win streaks, one of them on the line this weekend.
A+ Tile Home Remodeling. That is who redid the master bath in the Brown house. They did such good work there. Lance decided to use them in his house and even did his kitchen, not just the master bath, but the kitchen. This came after my wife scoured the internet when it came time looking for someone to redo our bathroom, looking for the best contractor, the best person for the job. She talked to several contractors, people that had used them, read reviews. She selected Brad Bell. I am so happy she did. He specializes in master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. That is his specialty, but he does anything really that you want. If you want to get on Brad's docket, you need to do it. So many next round audience members. I was talking to Brad the other night at the kickoff party, and he's like, man, it's just always like people from your show, which we appreciate that. But that shows you the kind of work he's done, that the word has spread. People continue to use him. 205-422-1758. That is the number for Brad Bell, A+ Tile Home Remodeling. Don't put it off any longer. Get it done now. 205-422-1758. Brad Bell, A+ Tile Home Remodeling. We were laughing about Dunaway because I used to say, and this was true, Brad can work anywhere in Alabama. Brad's like, let's dial that back. I have got so much going on right now. I don't want to overextend myself, thanks to you guys.
Yep.
And I said, one time Dunaway said Greg from Pell City could roof anybody in the SEC footprint.
Yep, I
and
did.
I said
sounded good.
I said like 20 minutes later, some guy from Tennessee calls Greg.
Yeah, Chattanooga, actually.
Yeah, Greg's like, Jim, let's dial that back a little bit.
Yeah, Chattanooga. I'm going to do this job, but let's dial that back a little bit. All right. This weekend, Florida State, 4th longest regular season win streak, 17 straight for Florida State. It's on the line against Georgia Tech. 4th longest win streak. There are 3 with longer regular season win streaks. Washington has got an 18-game regular season win streak.
Yeah, Kalen DeBoer.
Michigan's got a 28-game win streak regular season. Georgia's got a 39-game regular season win streak going. Which one of those ends first?
Well, I'd say Michigan. Michigan plays Texas week 2. Yeah. So that's the one I'd bet on.
Now, Florida State could go down this weekend.
You know, I'm hearing more and more people talk like Georgia Tech's got a chance in this game.
I just want a great game.
Luginbill. I mean, Luginbill alluded to it didn't allude to it. He broke down, what Georgia Tech has that Florida State really doesn't.
What I was really amazed by is that he talked about Georgia Tech. He talked about SMU in your question. He did not say anything about Memphis right in the middle.
He did not. I noticed that. And look, he's approaching it, he's doing the primetime game on the ACC network, so I'm sure he's studied those teams more than any. Memphis has got a shot. That's a tough start for Florida State. Sneaky tough start. I don't know that Boston College has anything. Bill O'Brien's first year. They did smart scheduling, though. Dunaway and I were looking at this yesterday, Lance. They play Saturday in Ireland. They don't play Boston College till Labor Day night. So you've got time to get back, get your body reset, get over the travel, and then they've got to bye. Because a lot of times you'll see that Labor Day night game and teams come back with an FCS game on that next Saturday. And they just don't have time to get their body back. And this is smart scheduling by Florida State. Now, it's resulted in them having 3 byes, which is so weird in college football. But they do have 3 byes by virtue of the fact that they're playing on week 0. As is SMU, who we pointed out yesterday. This is weird, too. Never plays more than 3 consecutive games all season long.
Perfect
3 games
schedule.
by, 3 games by, 3 games by. That's crazy.
We told you about QB2 Hank Brown at Auburn, QB1 Miller Moss at USC. 3 other schools named their starter. Arizona State is going with Sean Levitt, the guy from Michigan State, or Sam Levitt. Baylor is going with Daquan Finn, who was at Toledo. He's going to be the starter for Baylor. There is one point in the offseason I thought he was going to be the group of 5 or the portal quarterback that ended up at Auburn. He ends up at Baylor, and he wins that starting job.
Dave Aranda needs a big year.
And Duke is going with Malik Murphy, the guy who was at Texas, and now he's going to be the starting quarterback at Duke. Seems like a step down from where Mike Elko had Riley Leonard playing. When you saw Malik Murphy come in and struggle in that one game without Quinn Ewers, they were lucky to get out of that game with a win.
No, you're absolutely right. That was against Kansas State, and Kansas State did everything but win that game.
Yep. So that's the show today. Don't forget commitments and recruiting news, stuff from practices, behind the scenes information, some not behind paywall shows constantly dropping for you at covercrimson.com, covercrimson.com, and thebarnauburn.com, thebarnauburn.com. You can go check that out. A new Pennant Grace went yesterday with Ush talking about the Braves. You can get that content on our platform. Also, Uncorked with Taylor Korn. That's on our platform. And a new live version of The Meltdown coming up today at 2 Central with Lunceford and Melton. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.